Good afternoon, Thomas CT. You're first today. I don't know where we are now. I didn't play on this account since yesterday, so we lost one spot. What's up, Ixa? Hopefully Twitch and Cardboard Live will work smoother today. Hey, Triggered Gaming. Good evening, Elianto. Afternoon here, but I'm guessing you're in Europe, not Florida. What's up, Steven Stanwood? Hey, Plucky Hero, Scoopy, Bruce Hamilton. First subscription of the day. Thank you, Sarko ZQ. Life is good. What's up, Cheek? As long as we're drafting Zendikar, life is good. Hi, Incarcerated. I'm going to get started pretty soon here. Going to just fire 3 best of 1 drafts today. We'll see how we do. Hopefully we'll climb. More than likely we'll fall. I mean, it's a tough rating to maintain, but, either way, we're going to do 3 drafts and give it our go. I like to, give people a few minutes from when I sign on, especially because I don't sign on right at 3, perfectly all the time. Thank you, Plucky Hero. Appreciate the subscription. Hopefully we can pluck some wins from other heroes today, even if that makes us the villain. What's up, First Tube? Straight to number 1? I don't know. I'm going to do 3 drafts. However it goes, it goes. I think it's more likely we'll go down than up, but you never know. We'll just see if we run hot. Draft some good decks. I played best of 3 last week. I decided best of 1 this week. I'll probably run a poll again this weekend. I love Zendikar, but I really don't care whether it's best of 1 or best of 3. But I do try and hit Mythic Limited every single month. I don't think I've missed a month. So at some point I was going to have to play some best of 1. Hey, I got 6 and 3 out of that deck, Carlos. But I agree. That was the weirdest draft I've done in a very long time. Because it's not like I stuck to my first picks because they were broken and I thought the colors were dry. Pack 1, I got 6th pick Deadly Alliance, 8th pick Vanquish the Weak, and then pack 3, I got no playables. It was just very strange. I have a feeling if that was an in-pod draft, the packs were just horrible in pack 3, and all my opponents would have had filler also. But since it's league play, it's a little tougher. You play out of pod. Yeah, but that was a really weird draft. Pack 3 was just abysmal. It was one of the worst I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, clearly there were some other black players in the pod, and it was I don't think I was the only one, but still, though, even if there's 1 or 2 black players, downstream from me, I should still be getting, Sky Dancers and whatever. They're taking Deadly Alliance, and I'm getting Sky Dancer. They're taking a black uncommon, and I'm getting a Feed the Swarm or whatever. So, pack 3 was just the worst, so I think that was just I think it was just an awful set of packs, pack 3. Because I don't remember the packs being loaded with good cards in other colors either. I think the packs were just abysmal in pack 3, all around. You're here for the slide, Hazuki. The slide might be more likely, but I'm hoping to do the climb, not the slide. Yeah, I like red white aggro in the set. I mean, honestly, I like everything in this set. That's a big part of why I love the set so much. There are drafts where I think that you still get the highest win percentage by taking what's open, but you're like hoping for a certain color combination to be open. This draft format isn't like that. I'm happy when I'm red white aggro or white black clerics. I'm happy when I'm blue black rogues or blue green kicker. I'm happy when I'm green landfall decks. I'll draft anything. This format is so balanced. Like, all the colors are good. Like, all the decks are good. Like, you can literally draft anything. I think black is the best, blue is second. But yeah, I mean, blue is very good in this format too. But like, green, red, and white are all good too. I mean, green has Rabid Bite and Scythe Cat and Gnarled Colony. Like, those are all nice commons. Reclaim the Waste and plenty of synergy cards. White aggro, Clerics is really strong. White red Warriors is really strong. Like, white blue Party is nice. Like, all the decks are good, seriously. Like, yeah, like, some of the decks depend a little more on uncommons, but as long as your lane is open, it's not like there's one uncommon and you have to get two of it. There's like 4 uncommons for each archetype. So as long as your lane's open, you expect to get some of them. I always hope to go Crab Mill. As a big fan of Voxy myself, that's always my goal, every draft. One of my favorite moments ever was still trolling her with that fake Lucky Clover Secret Keeper deck in our sealed off. I forget who suggested that. It wasn't me. It was like Dangle or Ixo or somebody else, but it was such a good troll. I mean, I don't think red-green is bad. I just don't think you have that much reason to end up red and green that often. I don't think your good red-green decks are bad. I just think that, like, there's less that puts you there. Yeah, I think it was Dangle, but yeah, it was a great troll. It was super enjoyable. Voxy's just, like, the most perfect to troll, because, like, she's so energetic, and, like, she screams for fun, so, if you troll her, it's just... It's like lighting off a firecracker. Thank you, Cheekman. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you for your support. I know there was a ton of subscribers yesterday, so I'm not expecting that many today, but that's already the 3rd subscription today. So thank you. I appreciate the support, everybody. Y'all are awesome. While I'm not going to make specific promises as far as hours and stuff, I can promise already I'm planning to continue on streaming next year. Even without the contract, or, I'm on Team Fade to Karma, but no major sponsorships or anything. But y'all are awesome, and you support my stream really well, and it's a lot of fun, so I will continue on streaming. And I do appreciate that, like I always say, y'all are the ones who make this possible, because, if you weren't supporting me so well, it would be really hard to justify, but given the size and popularity of my stream and the generosity that goes on in this channel... I'm probably going to take, 1 week off towards the end of Zendikar. I haven't, seen the schedule for when the new set comes out. I really like Zendikar, so I don't think I'm going to take, 3 or 4 weeks off like I did at the end of M21. I'm probably just going to take 1 week off at some point. So I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after or what. I guess, I'm going to spend Christmas at my parents' house. So I don't know, maybe. I'll post something or figure that out soon, so it's a good question. I haven't decided yet. Thank you for the 100 bits, S-Code. Really appreciate the support. Yeah, I might just stream next Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then not Thursday or something. I think Christmas is on Thursday, right? I'm not sure. What day of the week is it now? I know what day of the week is, but today I don't know what day it is. Today's the 16th, and it's Wednesday. So next Wednesday's the 23rd. So Christmas is the Friday then? Yeah, so I'll probably stream next week. Maybe I'll take Thursday off. Maybe I won't. If my parents want to do something on Christmas Eve. But I'll probably stream Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, if Christmas is Friday, maybe I'll make it a 2-day week and stream Tuesday and Wednesday. But I'll most likely stream. Christmas wish list? I don't know, man. World peace and world hunger? Is that a lot to ask for? I'm good. I'm at a point in my life where I can't even ask for anything. Like, honestly, like, things are going pretty well for me lately. All I can really ask is that they continue on the same, that everybody stays healthy, in my immediate family, and that, if my life next year and the year after is roughly the same as this year and the previous year, except for, lockdowns and COVID or whatever, but, I haven't gotten sick, and neither have any of my immediate family from COVID. But basically, if my life just follows the same trajectory and the same like kind of level of everything, I'll be ecstatic. I don't deserve a Christmas wish list at this point. I'm just too happy. Like things have gone really well for me over the past few years. Thanks, Danny Six Stream. Yeah, my family's healthy. I mean, like, my grandma passed. I talked about that, but again, she was 98 years old. My parents are not young. Like, they had me in their 30s. So, my mom turned 70 this year, and my dad is 68. But my mom and dad are both in good health at 70 and 68. And, like I said, of course I was sad to lose my grandma, but also 98 is, like, an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like, I think every single one of us would snap lock in 98 right now if we could, right? Like, that's just, like... So, I'm still sad to lose her, but, I have a great appreciation for, living 98 years relatively healthy, till the end. I mean, that's all we can really all hope for in life. Play chat on stream. Okay, sorry. Let me see if I can get the chat back on the stream. I don't know why it ever left. That wasn't on purpose. Let me see if I can put it back up. All right, chat should be back up. Let me know if it is. Whoa, and speaking of, hey, Rada Hazard, thank you for that generosity, that great support for my stream. I appreciate it. Rada Hazard gifting out 5 subs. Thanks for the money bags, Mordu. Thank you, Rada. Really appreciate the great support. Well, thank you for the compliment, Rada. I definitely appreciate the nice, for you to say something that nice about me, as well as thank you for the support for my stream and the generosity. I don't snack much at the poker table, locked and loaded, especially this year. I've been trying not to because of COVID. I still obviously have to snack when I'm at the casino, but what I usually do is take breaks and then walk over to this like water fountain area with a bunch of benches. And, there's other people, but you can socially distance pretty well there. Like, it's not usually that crowded. So, you can sit like 10 feet away from the next nearest person when you let down your mask and eat. And when I do snack there, I usually have some kind of protein bars. Like, I like RX bars. I actually have some on my computer desk that you see me eat them on stream rarely. Not like that often, but if I get like really hungry on stream, I'll quickly down an RX bar. Yeah, I just play 2-5. But yeah, I don't have like a go-to snack, but my most common snack is some kind of protein bar, probably. I do just play 2-5 Hold'em Recycle Toad. And let's get to the drafting now. We just got over 200 people, and we've been on chilling for a few minutes, and I'm ready to start sliding down the mythic ladder. 34th is too high a ranking. I'm sure we can take that today, right? No more Abzan. Give me some black-white clerics and some blue-green kicker. And some Dimir. I've had enough of my Abzan draft decks. Or Abzan, or whatever Watsy wants it called. I mean, obviously I'd rather win. I'm rooting for number 1 too, but you need a pretty good win rate to move up when you're this high, and like you're playing almost all mythics, so like it's hard, So I try not to have unrealistic expectations, but if we run hot, if we draft good decks and draw well in our best of 1, of course anything's possible. All right, so let's dive in. So Archpriest is good. It's first pickable, but it's not like a broken rare by any stretch. It's just a good solid card, like a 1-mana 2/2 with some upside. Black Bloom Rogue, same thing. It's first pickable. It's a good solid card. It's not broken by any means. Roiling Regrowth, again, basically the same as Black Bloom Rogue and Archpriest. All 3 of these cards are cards I like a lot, and I don't mind first picking. None of them are broken or windmill slams. Kargan Warleader is probably the best card in the pack. Of course, it's a red, white, gold card, so it's near broken if you're red, white warriors, but only good in that deck. And then you have Deadly Alliance, the second best common in the set, and a great removal spell in this format. So I don't know. What do we take? What puts us in Abzan the easiest? Roiling Regrowth? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. All these cards are pretty close to me. I mean, I don't think you take the gold card. War Leader's the best card in the pack, I think, but it's not broken enough to justify. If it's going to be a 1-color card, it might just be Deadly Alliance. I mean, I think Deadly and Rogue are close, and I don't think Archpriest is much worse. I do like that Deadly is the best of the splashable, like to splash as far as those. Like if we end up with like a green anything deck, but we don't see black, you almost always play Reclaim the Waste in your green decks. It's a pretty good card. And Deadly Alliance is single black, so you can splash it pretty easily. So I like first picking Deadly Alliance and Royal Eruption for this reason, because they're both just very nice splashable removal. I wish I had took the War Leader. I could have just took another War Leader. Draft every warrior, start out with 2 War Leaders. That's how you get #1 Mythic. But I'm probably not going to take this War Leader since we didn't take the last one. Granted, we're definitely not going to take a black card. So what are our choices here? I mean, there's Linvala and War Leader, which are probably the 2 best cards in the pack and pretty close to each other. I mean, we could take one. I mean, there's not Deadly Alliance. The best individual color card in this pack is Maressa Sproutling. I do like Sproutling a lot, though. And like I said, Sproutling actually goes with Deadly okay, because if you play green-blue, green-white, green-red, you can splash Deadly. So I think Sproutling following up Deadly Alliance makes the most sense. And of course, I'm not against green-black. It might not be, one of the archetypes you draft as often, but I still think it's a good deck. So this is an interesting draft. I mean, obviously we're not taking a green card. Dauntless Survivor, is filler 2-drop. It's fine. It's not in contention here. So what are the best cards in this pack? I mean, there's, if we were going to take a black card, an individual black card, we're going to take Rebirth. I don't think Rebirth is an amazing landspell modal, but it's pretty solid, and it's certainly better than Gloomhunter and Skydancer right now, I think. We could take the Ravager's Mace. We won't play the Sproutling, but that's not a big loss. If we do see black and red, black-red Party is excellent, and Ravager's Mace is excellent in black-red Party. So there's no green card to take. There's Rebirth if we want to take a black card. Bugcatcher is probably the next best card, but I don't see why we would take Bugcatcher over Rebirth. They're pretty close. So I think this is a pick between Rebirth and Mace, because I think Mace is near broken in black-red, but Rebirth in black anything. I think I'm going to take the Mace. I don't want to miss the Mace if we see black-red. I don't think I'm going to care that much about the Malak or Rebirth. Yeah, I mean, if you're black-red, Mace is a lot better than Rebirth. The only thing is Rebirth is just good in every black deck, period. It doesn't require black anything. It doesn't care if you're black-red, black-blue, black-white, black-green, just whatever. Whereas Mace is only good if you're black-red Party. But Mace is way better than Malak or Rebirth in black-red Party. Yeah, so now, I mean, Rabid Bite's the best card. I mean, I think we probably should take it. Getting a 4th pick Rabid Bite in green-black is a good place to go. And again, we can still play green-blue or green-white. Who cares? We'll splash Deadly. We'll miss out on Mace. I mean, the best black-red cards are like Skydancer and Song, which are both fine, not great. I think Rabid Bite is a pretty clear choice here. Looks like, again, a pretty clear Vastwood Fortification. It's not like an amazing landspell modal, but it's a landspell modal. It mitigates Flood and Screw. If we do end up green-black, that's where it's at its best with the counters matter synergies. And, I mean, if we're not taking it, we're taking Field Research, which, I mean, we don't have a second color yet, or Blood Beckoning, which is a good card, but it has diminishing returns. So I think this is a pretty easy Vastwood Fortification. Well, now it gets a little more interesting. I mean, we could take the Reclaim. I mean, Ravager's Mace is not a great splash into green-black decks. We do have the Sproutling, so we do want to take kicker cards where we can. But red looks wide open. And Skyclave Geopede is pretty good in a green-red, like, aggro deck. I mean, it's good in a red-black party deck, too, even though it doesn't party, because that's such an aggressive deck. We can always splash the Deadly Alliance. I don't think we're going to miss this Reclaim, unless we end up splashing and we don't see more. I think if we're going to see Geopede, Hazard, and Spellcraft this late, I think we want to take Geopede. Even if somehow I meander, I'm not expecting to, but even if somehow I meander back into red-black, alright, whatever. I didn't miss out on much. Those packs had some decent green cards, right? Maybe we waffle between these 3 colors, and then we open Zagreus, and we go red-black, right? For a good reason like that. So I think I'm just going to waffle for now. And I mean, look, you can splash pretty easily if you get a lot of fixing, which sometimes you do. So I'm going to take Skydancer, keep our options open between green, black, and red. It does seem like we're having decent access to green, black, and red cards. I'm not going to miss Ascetic or Reclaim. I mean, they're fine. Just going to keep our options open between these 3 colors. We can pretty much say blue and white are off the table. But we can play any combination now of green, black, splash red, or green, black, or green, red, splash black, or black, red. Basically, we're just going to waffle between the Jund colors. I'm not planning to play all 3. I mean, I might do a light splash at this point, if we end up with fixing, and especially if green is one of our 2. But either way, I think we can waffle between the Jund colors and see what's around. Does seem like red is wide open. It seems like red is the most open color from what I've seen. Do we want to do like a red-green aggro splash black? Or because now we have to decide between Seagate and Survivor. Seagate Colossus can be quite good in black-red, because that's not a deck that's that loaded up with warriors, and it's a party deck. So I think I'm going to take that. We still might end up black-red here, even though we took those 3 green cards. Like, you know, we saw a lot of red late, we didn't see much green late, and we didn't see much black late. So my assessment of this draft right now is red is the color we're seeing the most of, and then green and black are medium open. Like, I think we saw more green and black than we did blue and white, but red is the only color I feel like we got hit in the face with. Thank you, Nolan1. Appreciate the subscription. Hope you keep hitting all those hole-in-ones. Alright, so let's see. This pack's pretty unexciting for us. I mean, Agdam's Awakening is good. You know, it's a land that can also win you games. You just tap 6-7 mana and put 3 cards back into play. It's probably what we should take. I think if we're not taking that, we're taking Pack Beast. I mean, there are definitely, you know, if I knew I was going to be like green-red aggro, I might take Sidecat over Pack Beast, but Pack Beast is good in any deck. Especially in a black-red party or something like that. So I think this is either Pack Beast or Awakening. Although I'm kind of leaning Awakening. Awakening's pretty busted. Like, it's a land, and then it's also a game-winning spell in the late game. And maybe we'll table the Silencer, the Mind Drain, or the Awakening. I'm going to take the Pack Beast. You're never going to table that. It's good no matter what we draft. I think there's a lot of upside in taking that. Alright. Looks like a pretty easy vanquish to me. If we knew we were green-black, we'd consider the Skeleton. But green-black is the least likely of the 3, because red is the color that was the most open. So I think I'm leaning towards black-red party at this point. And along those lines, Feed the Swarm, which, I mean, unless, like I said, black is the color we don't play or something I'm going to be happy with. Rabid Bite's good. I think Feed and Rabid Bite are pretty much the same. It's just about which color we're likely to see. That could be our 3rd Kargan War Leader. And it's kind of weird seeing that in Pack 2, because that means the people, like, to our left in Pack 1 didn't take those War Leaders. So, it's kind of awkward, but nothing we can do about that. If we play Black-Red Party, then we're going to want the Skitter Sneak. I think, given we saw, like, no green this pack, unless we open, like, a super broken green card, we know we have 3-4 solid green playables, and we're not that committed to these other colors. So green is possible. But, you know, because, like, if we open a super broken green card, we could still play green-black and turn our red into a splash pretty easily, right? Who cares about Hellion? We could splash Spellcraft and GOP or something. But I expect to see more red than green in Pack 3. So we'd really need a good reason to go green-red or green-black from here. They just keep passing us good green cards as I say that, but I think we're going to stay the course. I mean, green-black wouldn't be a horrible place to end up. It's just we don't really have the payoffs. I guess there's a Skeleton there I could have gotten fifth pick. Well, if I knew for 100% I was black, I wouldn't have took that Pack Beast. I was still thinking I could have been green-red. But, yeah, I don't think they're that far apart in Black-Red Party. Because, I mean, like, the Pack Beast does a lot of work in this deck. Granted, we don't have that much party synergy. +1's damage to the Seagate, minus is a casting cost off the... +1's damage to the Spellcraft, -1's a casting cost off the Seagate and the Alliance, +1's to the Mace. So, it does a little work for us so far. But, I mean, hopefully we're going to continue getting Party Matter stuff. Skeleton is quite good. Yeah, I do agree with that. Maybe I should have took Skeleton there. Because Spellcraft is good in Black-Red Party aggro, though. Does a bunch of damage. It's good solid removal. This is an aggro deck. This is the exact kind of curve topper you want. Kill your creature, deal 3 to you is pretty good out of an aggressive black-red. So I don't think Mind Carver is very good in black-red. So we're trying to take Skulker or Ambusher, I think. We definitely want 2 drops. We have a couple of rogues, so the Skulker is likely to have Death Touch, but it's also one of the creature types we're better at. We have no warriors, so I think I'm just going to take the Ambusher. Except for this one expensive one. But the Ambusher still lowers the cost of the Seagate. So Mind Drain's a pretty good card, but this is the deck I like it in the least, because it's an aggro deck, and it doesn't care about putting 8 in their yard much. I mean, Skitter Sneak wants that. But I mean, Highboard is bad. Like, there's even the red one that has Kick or Haste. That's the same card. So, and it's a warrior. I guess it's Mind Drain. Maybe I should have took a green card there just in case pack 3 goes that way. All right, we don't have many clerics. This card looks fine. Especially, maybe I'll play the Mind Drain or I'll play the Gloom Hunter or something else that gains life. I mean, look, I don't want to play 3 mana 3/2 no ability, but it's not unplayable. Yeah, I know the side cats are flowing. I mean, we saw good green this pack. We didn't see much green pack 1, but that could have been a coincidence. You know, like, we took those green cards early, and then the green totally dried up. But that could have been a coincidence. It's definitely possible I'm supposed to be green in this seat, and I'm missing green here. I mean, this pack I didn't see much red, but remember, the red came super late in pack 1. So, you know, like, we're planning for pack 3 a bit here. Like, if pack 3 I don't see good red, I messed up. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but, you know, theoretically my read is wrong. But, like, you know, pack 1, we got all that red super late. So that's kind of, you know, where I'm at. I'm kind of expecting to get the red. Like, my conclusion at the end of pack 1 was red was the most open color, remember? Certainly wasn't the case in this pack. But we'll see what happens in pack 3. So it seems like it's super easy deadly. You know, look, Blood Priest is excellent in Black Red Party. Truly excellent. But, I mean, not over Deadly Alliance. Hopefully we can table either Gloom Hunter or Blood Priest, because I'd be super happy with that. If there was, like, a Royal Eruption, we'd take that. I mean, it's better anyway, but then we'd rather leave 3 black cards in the pack to help our chance of tabling a black card. But obviously I'm not going to take Cinderclasm or Rubble Fort here. I don't know what pick 1 pack 1 was. What was pick 1 pack 1? I don't even remember. Deadly Alliance, I think. Wow, am I going to second pick a Skulker? I mean, I need 2 drops. Skulker's a decent 2. I mean, I'm not happy about this pack, but I've got plenty of, like, top end. I need the cheap beaters. That's a very poor second pick. Like, where's the Royal Eruption, the Deadly Alliance, a Mace, a Geopede, whatever. A Magmatic Chandler, now we're talking. That's a much better third pick. I knew red was open. Once in a while, you know, you get rewarded for finding the open colors. I love this card. It's a wizard, which is like one of our lightest creature types right now. And it's just a way to spend your mana on turn 2 that's productive, and then it's a bomb in the late game. And we have a ton of instants and sorceries, so we're going to turn this on. And our curve, like, these cards don't Deadly Alliances don't cost 5. Like, our curve is not that high. Like, I think that's going to end up being an excellent card in our deck. So if we wanted to splash green, we could take a red-green duel, but the green cards aren't really splashable, right? No, like, what are we going to splash for? A Rabid Bite? So I guess we just take Scorch Rider. It's not a good card, but it's fine in a red-black aggro. It's a warrior and all that. Super easy. Night Runner here. This is a card I like a lot. This deck has tons of removal. You can kill something, hit them, put lands in play. It's a rogue, a good creature type. Speaking of, Wizards is our lightest creature type. Art and Electromagnet. Well, Cleric's actually our lightest creature type, but Rogue and Cleric are the ones we're light on. We're good on... Sorry, Cleric and Wizard are the ones we're light on. We're good on Rogues and we're good on Warriors. Clerics and Wizards are what we're trying to prioritize. Art and Electromancer looks good for us. There's another War Leader. We could have had like 5 of those. Should have just forced red-white aggro War Leader, huh? I don't think 3 Mind Drains are going to make our deck, but who knows. And remember, we passed all those. If we had taken all those War Leaders, we could have a constructed Red-White Warriors deck. Sadly, this is the pack I opened where I took the Deadly Alliance. I was definitely not hoping... I wasn't expecting to get the Blood Priest back, but I was hoping to get the Gloom Hunter back, but it didn't happen. Too many black players in this pod. The only area I don't love our deck is that we're a little short on 2s and a little short on Clerics. I don't care that much that we're a little short on Clerics, like Pack Beast of Cleric and Blight Priest of Cleric. But if all of our Party Matters cards are on for 3 and not 4, that's fine. It's not like we have something that goes off when you're full party. And we still have the Pack Beast, you know, like, so I'm cool with that. I wish we had another 2-drop or 2. Maybe I'll play these Akum Hellhounds. Can play the Hellions and the Akum Hellhounds or something. Or the Cleansing Wildfire. I don't know. We're going to have to take a look at that. Because I ended up short on 2 drops. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drop creatures and a Feed the Swarm. That's not really enough for an aggro deck. Well, Rage costing less than 2 doesn't make it a 2-drop. I'm talking about proactive threats to put out. Alright, so... I think what we're going to want to do is something along that nature where we have more early beaters. So let's assume that means we have to cut our weakest cards to start, like all these Mind Drains, which, like I said, they're good cards with the synergies, but they're not great in Black-Red aggro. Most of the rest of our cards are pretty good. Yeah, so our next weakest cards are like Scorch Rider and Skitter Sneak. How are we on total rogues? What do we have, like 3? We got the Skulker. I'm not going to count the Pack Beast every time. The Night Runner and the Sky Dancer, and then the Skitter Sneak's the 4th. So, and we also don't have to play quite this many lands. I know I have at least a land spell modal or 2. I don't think I have many, but we got the Hazard. Is that literally it? That is literally it. Okay, well, so let's say I wanted to play like Cleansing Wildfire because I have double Hellion to trigger. I'm not saying I'm definitely going to play it or not. I might not. We're not going to play Cinderclasm. That was a misclick. And then I'd probably want to play Hellion if I'm going to have an aggro deck with 2 landfall beaters. So something like this. We can cut 1 land because this is really 17 with the Hazard. So what are our last 2 cuts from this deck? Can definitely cut Skitter Sneak. Could cut a Scorch Rider. We have plenty of Warriors. Not plenty, but enough. We actually don't have that many, but we do have a few others. And we're not cutting both, so it would be 1 Scorch Rider. Yeah, this is a solid deck. It's not, like, busted. It's not horrible. All right, the Cleansing Wildfire is probably not going to fit. And then I think we need Warriors more than this Skitter Sneak. I'm just going to get rid of that, especially if we don't play the Mind Drains. We still have 3 Rogues. We have the Night Runner, the Ambusher, and the Skulker. And then we have, for Warriors, I know there's the stats thing, but I'm just kind of checking it out anyway. We have the 2 Scorch Riders and the Ambusher. So we have 3 Warriors, 3 Rogues. And then we have 2 Wizards, the Chandler and the Electromancer. And then we have 1 Cleric. And then we have the Pack Beast, which is everything. The Akums and the Hellion aren't good with the party plan, but I think they should work out here. We need the aggression. These deal damage to the player. We have good removal. We have some evasion. I mean, we have really good removal. We have double Deadly Alliance, double Spellcraft, Vanquish the Weak, Feed the Swarm. Maybe I don't need the Kite Sail with this much removal. I usually like Kite Sail in decks like this. It's pretty good on Hellhound and all these little beaters. But our curve is not that low, and our removal is really good. I probably shouldn't play the Kite Sail, actually. I actually normally like Kite Sail in decks like this, but I think we're not going to have too much trouble breaking in. Like, that's kind of what our deck does well. I think I'll just pop in the Skitters. I actually like Kite Sail in decks like this, but it's our second equipment, and our curve's not that low, and we have lots of great removal, so we're not worried about them stopping us from attacking with good blockers, because we'll just kill their good blockers, since we have Feed the Swarm, Vanquish the Weak, double Deadly Alliance, double Synchronized Spellcraft. Alright, let's get the party started. All pun intended. Yeah, this hand on the play is pretty sweet. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. Don't mind if I do. That doesn't block anything. I think I'm going to play the Sky Dancer over the Night Runner here because flying is more likely to connect, and I'm not expecting Night Runner to hit me to cast things off of it yet. But obviously I have a really good aggressive start, so I want to just put out the Flyer, I think. I'm definitely not blocking. They're tapped out, so I'm just going to play this and take it. So if I play a land, everything can attack. I probably want to kill Lol Mage's Familiar since I top deck Deadly Alliance. Any way I could do that for 2 mana? Yes! Yes, right? No, I'm 1 mana short. I was going to say, a Rogue doesn't lower its casting cost, but I'd be 1 mana short anyway. So we just Deadly Alliance this turn, right? I think it's almost a no-brainer. That's a mana creature that also gains life, and I'm way on the aggressive. I mean, Hound is an aggro card. It's not good in red-black party normally because it's not a party type. We were a little short on early aggressive creatures, but we have a lot of ways to burn people out with double synchronized spellcraft and to clear big blockers and keep attacking with double deadly alliance. So I chose to include it. I'm not saying it's great. Alright, so there would be nothing wrong with trading Ambusher for Cascade Seer and pumping, but we can make better use of our mana if we just cast things right. So I think we just put out our 4-3 this turn, hit for 2 in the air. Unfortunately, they slow us down a little bit, but again, we're still clocking them. And if every time we hit them now, they get closer to synchronized spellcraft range, which we have 2 of. Also, we can just draw a removal, kill the one good blocker, and then attack with everything. Yeah, Hellhound's like filler early drop for an aggro deck, right? Like, it's not embarrassing to play it, but it's not good. I'm playing it because I ended up short 2s, not because I really wanted to. Alright, no real decisions again. Hit in the air and play Geopede. It's our best attacker. That's fine. If their last card doesn't answer Skydancer, we're under no pressure. I mean, they're on a 3-turn clock here. And again, we have 2 synchronized spellcraft, so every time we hit them, it's rougher for them. I think I'm just going to trade the Geopede off. If I draw lands, like I have these to do anyway, their 3/3s are pretty annoying since they're stopping my other creatures from attacking. And if this attack, like, if they don't play anything else, they wouldn't really have a good double block. But I was assuming they would have something, so I'd rather just save the damage. Okay, no real decisions here again. Just put out our 2 creatures, including the Skulker, which can trade with those 3/3s because we have other rogues. Keep hitting them in the air. Hopefully we'll ride that Skydancer to victory. Yeah, they were just trying to get in some damage because they had good enough blockers. So, unfortunately, we didn't draw a land, which would have let us attack, I think, on the ground. No, they have 4 ground for 4 ground anyway. I see no reason to do anything besides just hit them in the air and drop Night Runner. Just keep adding to the board. And now that Spellcraft's lethal, so if we draw a land, we're in quite good shape. Obviously, the Skydancer's lethal too, but they just drew a bunch of cards off Field Research. So in those 4 cards, they probably have removal or a flyer. Maybe they don't. Who knows? But even if they do, we still have Spellcraft, so all we gotta do is draw a land and they're dead. Yeah, this is the first draft. I'll pop the deck up real fast on the screen, Isaac. But this was the first draft of the day. Yeah, not killing my flyer was greedy. I do agree. We have a bunch of rogues. They're not going to shut off Death Touch. This seems like a fine block. Actually, what are they going to do? They can't use a pump spell or something, so maybe we'd rather make a more profitable double block. Like, let's say we block, like, this. Because I'd rather lose one of these creatures than the Skulker. And what are they going to do? Bounce one of these and die to the Skydancer? Use a pump spell and die to the Skydancer? I'll just block like this. And if they have something, who even cares? These creatures aren't really attacking anyway right now. And Spellcraft's still going to be lethal. Thanks, Fatter Beef. Oh, still no land, so we can't cast Spellcraft. Don't know if they're going to have something or not, but at this point it's an easy attack with just Skydancer. Nothing good happening for us on the ground. And if they've got something, they've got it. Probably like an Into the Royal. Glad to know I'm still Psychic. So we could play it now to dodge a counter, or we could play it end of their turn to dodge Bubble Snare and Rabid Bite. I think it's more likely they'll have Bubble Snare or Rabid Bite than like a counter like Anti-Cognition. So I'm going to wait and play Skydancer end of their turn. Yeah, Hellion and Spellcraft are lethal. We're just 1 land away. Yeah, definitely Deadly Alliancing the Low Mage's Familiar was correct, and it was a lucky top deck when we drew it. And they can deal us some decent damage, but they're not threatening lethal. So let's say we just go like 1-3 on 2-1. This can like chump a 3-3 because these have trample thanks to the colony. Still trade the Skulker for the biggest one and then take the rest. This looks fine. There's no way this is lethal if they have like a Might of Marasa with kicker or something, right? It's +5/+5. Right now we're taking 4, 8, 9. +5 is 14. 14 is not 16. And we're on tapping with 2 different creatures they'd have to stop with this one blocker, plus the Sky Dancer they have to stop with a card in their hand. So this looks right to me. Good stuff. Oh, wow, I forgot the 2 geckos would both get counters from Might. That might have been exactly lethal, in which case I should have blocked one more creature. It wasn't a good block. Might of Marasa was lethal because they had 2 different geckos that would both get a counter, and I thought it would put me to 2, so it would have put me to 0. I didn't get punished, but that was actually a misplay. Oh, they didn't have enough mana to kick it? Why not? Did they kick something that turn? Oh, they kicked the colony. And Gecko only lowers the cost of the first kick spell, so they would have had to have 5 mana, and they only had 3. And +3/+3 wasn't enough. They would have had to play it with kicker. Okay, so my block was fine. Good game, Sam R. Williams. Yeah, people said that in the chat. I thought you played well, but yeah, I agree. You should have Rabid Bited the Flyer. I had an aggro deck, and you had way more power than me going, so yeah, you wanted to take out the Flyer there. Everything else seemed good. Phew! Almost started the day off with a punt. I'm sure we'll hit the punt counter today, but I like to at least get through the first game without doing it. Black-White Clerics and Blue-Green Kicker are my 2 favorite archetypes in this format. Nuke them? Please don't. Nukes suck. Let's not nuke anyone. Alright, we'll keep. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Luke Nukem. Yeah, Blue-Green Kicker is universally loved. I think it's widely considered the best. But yeah, after that, then my next favorite would be Black-White Clerics. So even though the Chandler's the better 2-drop, we play the Pack Beast first because it attacks for 2 next turn. Chandler attacks for 1. The reason Chandler's busted is because it's a 2-drop that's also really good in the late game. But in the early game, I think we'd rather just put out the higher power creature. Should we attack? I think so. We don't really need the party type from the Pack Beast. I mean, it's good, but all it's really doing with this current hand is adding 1 to the spellcraft. And then I think it's a pretty easy land Sky Dancer. Again, we just want to get the in the air beater going. We're an aggro deck. So do we want to play a land? Yeah, we could always discard the hazard, but they might also play a 1 toughness creature. So I don't want to play the hazard just to get a tap land in play. I can always discard it to the Chandler. So I think I'm going to play Chandler and then just hold up hazard. If they play a 1 toughness creature, cool, I'll get a kill. If not, I'll probably end up discarding the hazard to the Chandler. See what we get. We were going to want to hold 1 land to discard to the Chandler anyway. It might as well be the one that could kill a 1 toughness creature, right? Alright, so now we can discard Hazard to Chandler, or we can play Scorch Rider. Discarding Hazard to Chandler looks better. I mean, we can cast virtually any card in our deck. If we hit a 5, we can't cast it, but our only other 5 is 1 other Synchronized Spellcraft, right? I mean, Deadly Alliance costs 3. If we hit 2 lands, we'll play 1 and then Spellcraft or Scorch or whatever. So I think we want to discard Hazard, see what we get. Alright, so we can't cast the 5, so of course we're going to take the Electromancer. So now if we play the Electromancer, it's going to add 2 mana. That's going to leave us 3 more to work with. So sadly, we can't cast the Scorch Rider. But knowing I have Synchronized Spellcraft in hand, I'm perfectly happy to feed the Swarm a 3/3, even though we don't need to. It's just the only use of our mana this turn. And with Magmatic Chandler out, a 4-drop and a 5-drop in hand and 4 lands, I want to use my mana every turn. Just advance my board. Imagine they play 1 creature. If I go land Spellcraft it, they're taking, what, 2, 3, 6, 8? And I already have 2 instant sorceries, so I only have to dig up 1 more or draw 1 more before this thing turns into a 4/4. Magmatic Chandler's excellent in the stack. I have a lot of removal, a lot of instant sorceries. It's going to just be a good card for us. What is with these greedy plays? This is like last round, not killing the Chandler. It's just like no respect. Like, yeah, killing the Electromancer does more right now, but the Chandler's a considerably better card. Okay, so this is an easy discard Hellhound. See what we get. Yeah, not great, but not horrible. Obviously, I'll offer the trade because their creature basically has an ability and mine doesn't once in play. Oh, they couldn't Rabid Bite the Chandler. Well, they didn't have to Rabid Bite, though, to be fair. But yes, this was a little different. They didn't have the option to Rabid Bite the Chandler. I apologize. They have a 2-power creature out, so they couldn't kill a 3-toughness creature. That said, they're not exactly forced to play Rabid Bite right now, right? They could just trade Windrider Wizard for the same 3/2 that they Rabid Bited, and then this turn they could play Diviner and Rabid Bite the Chandler. But let's say they have other removal in their hand, then their play is totally fine. If not, I probably wouldn't use my only removal spell on an Ardent Electromancer. If they're holding a couple other removal, even just 1 other removal, sure, then their play is totally fine. Y'all right. Sort of. I'm still right that if Rabid Bite was their only removal, they could have just traded Windrider Wizard for the Electromancer and then held the Rabid Bite for the Chandler. But if they had other removal in hand, I like their play just fine. Alright, let's see. What do we want to do here? We're on 2 instants, so we're not going to a 4/4 by casting Spellcraft. We could Spellcraft the Diviner, and then we'd attack for 3, 4, 6, so they take 8. We do have a 4/3 to cast, though, and I don't really want them to draw a card. I don't really need to kill the Diviner here. I think what I want to do is just attack with the Sneak and use Chandler. We can discard Mountain. We'll either play a land if we hit 2, or we'll play something good if we hit it. So I think I'm going to start by discarding Mountain and seeing what we get, like I've been doing. You never know when Chandler's going to leave play. So you do want to prioritize using it. Alright, so I took Deadly over land, of course. Now I will Deadly. I don't know which one. I think the Windrider Wizard, actually. I mean, I should attack with the Sneak first, but they don't have a block on it. And, like, you know what I can do? I can attack with both. Nah, but they might have, like, Chilling Trap or something. Oh, but they can't use it. If they go for it, I'll just respond and kill the Diviner. Yeah, so you know what I'll do? I'll attack with both. And then if they block the Sky Dancer, I'll Deadly Alliance the Windrider Wizard. If they don't block anything post-combat, I'm still going to Deadly Alliance the Windrider Wizard. Because I don't want them to draw a card off the Diviner, and I don't care about the extra power. Thank you, Burke YY. Appreciate that subscription. Thanks to everybody subscribing. There was a ton yesterday, and I think we're at like 5 today, plus Rada Hazard gifted 5 already, so I do really appreciate the support. I think that was optimal. We definitely want to discard Mountain. Like I said, if they kill the Chandler, we can always play these spells, but we can't use a Chandler after it's been killed. And then, of course, we want to play Deadly once we hit it there, not land 5. And I was able to attack with both. And I didn't want to target the Diviner because they might Shell Shield it or something. But by making the exact play we did, they really didn't have any good options. If they block, I kill the Wizard. They don't draw a card. If they have Shell Shield, they can save the Windrider. But then the Diviner just trades with the Sky Dancer. They get their card, but that's it. Alright, so now there is 3 instants in our yard. So I think when we Spellcraft here, they're pretty much dead. They've got 7. It's going to turn. This Spellcraft is going to turn on the Skitter Sneak and the Chandler. So they're either lethal or very close to it. I think we just slam it. I don't think this is even a decision. They're going to 1 and they have to chump block Chandler. So that's pretty much game. Unless they're going to have some incredible turn here. And if we draw a land, it's Scorch Rider with haste. Pretty sure we'll get a head explosion out of Luke Nukem here. I guess I missed a point. I could have Deadly Allianced after blockers. They could have done something, like Into the Royal to sneak, but I guess Deadly goes away at end of turn, so I really wanted to cast it. So yeah, I think last turn I should have probably made the exact line I did, but after no blocks, then Deadly Alliance the Wind Rider Wizard for 1 extra point of damage. If the Deadly was even in my hand, I don't think it would have been worth it, because what if they bounce the sneak or something like that? But given I was going to play the Deadly regardless, because I had to play it this turn, or it goes away because it was off of the Chandler, yeah, you're right. Well, no decisions here. Maybe their last card stops a creature, but I doubt it stops 2. Blackjack. Thank you, Unbanned Birthing Pod. Appreciate the subscription. I definitely agree with you, for the record. I think Birthing Pod was a good ban at the time, but Modern has gotten like 10x more powerful than it was back when they banned Birthing Pod. So you could certainly unban Birthing Pod now. I support them banning it when they did, but they could push unban now. I'm definitely with you. Ads and chats tomorrow? Yeah, that's the plan. Especially, like I said, I might miss next Thursday for Christmas Eve, but this week should be a full week. Just 3 drafts today, tomorrow 3 drafts, plus ads and chats. It's pretty cool that people ask about that. Thanks, John Orange. I knew people wanted my Magic strategy, but I didn't know y'all just wanted to hang out with me and chat about life. That's pretty sweet. Ads and chats for anybody who hasn't seen it. Thursday night after the 3rd draft. You know, if you watch my stream, I don't show any ads. You see the Twitch automatic rolls, but I never click play ad. So then after the 3 drafts Thursday night, I just hang out for hours, chat with everybody, answer any questions, ask me my favorite food, ask me what I think the best common in Zendikar is, whatever you want. And I show ads every 8 minutes. So I just run up some ad revenue, hang out, do kind of like a ask me anything / hangout Thursday nights. I stream. I mean, listen, I don't keep my schedule perfectly. It's a one-person show. But the plan is Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 3 drafts starting at 3 p.m. That's what I've settled on. Hey, you're welcome. Thank you for supporting it, John, and thank you for the shout-out. Subs do not get ads, I believe. I'm not an expert, but I don't think you should. I appreciate that, Fake Steve. You fake listen to the stream so I can make some ad money. That's totally appropriate from Fake Steve. I wouldn't expect anything less. I would love the pill that made me have perfect nutrition and never feel hungry. True story. One time we were talking about that concept at like a restaurant in Vegas, and I was like, I would pay $100,000 for a pill that gave me good nutrition and I never felt hungry and never had to eat again. And Ifro was like, I would pay $100,000 to not have to take that pill. Just shows you how people value different things, right? Like, I would literally pay $100,000 to never eat again, and you'd pay $100,000 not to have to take that pill. The videos should go up on YouTube pretty quickly. Dangle handles that. He's honestly awesome. He's been on vacation lately. He's still been handling it because he's awesome, and but obviously maybe there's been a little bit more of a delay. Also, I think YouTube started like taking a lot longer to process the HD and stuff like that. I'm not really good on the tech side. I can't really explain it well, but I know Kibler tweeted about a similar problem, and I just think he used to get the videos up like the next day, maybe 2 days later, almost all the time. But I think instead of a couple hours to process, they now take like almost a full day to process. So I think something that's been going on YouTube that's not his fault, my fault, or anyone's fault, just a YouTube thing. I think it's slowed that down a little bit. All right, let's see. I don't know if I should attack here or not. So I don't really want the trade right now because it's lowering the cost of Deadly Alliance, which could let me double spell. If I block when they attack back, though, their creature's likely to be like a 3-2 trample or a 2-2 trample and I'll take damage. But that said, if I play the Night Runner this turn, every mana that I lower the Deadly Alliance by is pretty valuable because I have a land light spell heavy hand. So I don't mind trading off the Pack Beast. The party is not that important for my deck, but I'm going to cast Deadly Alliance sometime soon, and I might double spell, right? Like, if I draw an on-tap land, I can go Ambusher, and that reduces Deadly Alliance to 2, and Deadly Alliance next turn. So I think it makes sense not to trade the Pack Beast off until at least after I've cast this Deadly Alliance, most likely. I mean, we'll see what they do this turn, of course. Yeah, none of this is mine, Salet. Like, I literally never, ever, ever click push add while I'm playing Magic. Not when I go to the bathroom. Like, literally the only time I show ads is during ads and chats. So anything you see is just a Twitch auto roll or whatever. Nothing to do with me. Alright, so, like I said, I do want to trade, but I think for now I want to take it. So we didn't draw a land, though, so we can't double spell. If I hit a land off the Night Runner, I can play it. If I hit a spell, it's going to go away. I do want to Deadly Alliance the 3/3, so I can attack. So I think I just Deadly Alliance. Unfortunately, that plan didn't really come to fruition, but if we hit a land, it's still a free resource for us. If it's a mountain, that would be wonderful. Still a free resource. That's an extra land in play. That's like drawing a card if the land is useful, and it is, given we have a handful of all spells and some landfall creatures. Milling yourself is not a cost. So imagine we hit a card there that we couldn't cast. Who cares? It just goes away. So that was basically just draw a land, 40% of the time or whatever. Get nothing the other 60% of the time. All right, let's see. So pretty hard to attack into that, and I don't mind slamming on the brakes for a turn anyway. It's not like attacking right now is great. I think I want to play Akuma Hellhound and Blight Priest and just pass the turn and settle into block. I know I could attack and hazard it if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to, right? I have a bunch of stuff to dump out. I mean, I'm 2-for-1ing myself, which is fine if it clears the way and lets me keep attacking. But I don't really want to play lands until both Hellhounds are in play. Otherwise, I'm kind of missing value. I mean, I could have held one for the Chandler, but against a red-white deck with 7 cards in hand, I can't necessarily expect the Chandler to live anyway. So I think I'll chill for a turn and then expect to get back to attacking next turn. I might trade with it, of course, but not when it's indestructible. Alright, so let's see. We can only attack with the 3/2 right now. Think that's a good attack. Any trade lowers their party or there's a trade up. It either trades even with another 3/2 Cleric or it trades up with a 4/3. And then what? We can play Ambusher and Chandler or we can play Scorch Rider. Do we want a 4/3 or 2 1/3s? We want 2 1/3s. We're going to end up with better double blocks. Plus we might activate Chandler. So I think this is just attack with the Blight Priest because we're happy to trade it with either of these creatures and we don't need it to block. And then we'll just play our 2 1/3s. Again, we only didn't have a good block on the Bug Catcher because they happen to play Angel Heart Protector. It's not like we're losing on board. We can just block this with anything. We can block it with Pack Beast and Night Run or whatever. And we can double block Champion, or if they attack with too much, we can just chump the Champion with a Hellhound and prepare to swing back. We're not in trouble on board or anything. We just had to take that 3 last turn because they gave it indestructible until end of turn. Hey yo, MTG. No, I don't love Hellhound and aggro decks. It's filler, but I ended up a little short on early drops, so I decided to run it. Because I also have like Chandler to discard it. I have 2 Spellcrafts to deal a bunch of damage. 2 Scorch Riders for haste. Like, this is a deck that I wanted to play things early. But I think Hellhound is total filler in aggro decks. Not good, just total filler. Not like embarrassing to play, to be clear. But it's filler. If I had another 2 or 3 good 2-drops, these would not be in my deck. It's not that common. I mean, the pairing algorithm is going to look for somebody with a similar record to you and a similar ranking to you. I don't know exactly what they prioritize. So if they attack, what are the tricks? They could have practice tactics, they could have +2/+2, or they could have like +3/+2. Because we do want to avoid like total blowouts if we can. That thing's going to be a 4/3. So what happens if I put like a 2/3 and 2 1/3s on it? That works fine. They can't practice tactics. Well, they killed it, so that's no longer an option. So I don't think I have great blocks, but I do have way more stuff than them out now. So let's say I chump the 4/3 that's not trample. Or let's say I just take it all. Can I attack back for lethal? 2, 4, 6, 9, 10. No. I don't have a bunch of instants in yard. No, that's not turning on. So I actually don't have great blocks now. But of course, like, I can win this game the other way anyway. Let's say I just chump with the Hellhound. I can't really double block either of these creatures now that they killed the 2/3, or I'll lose both. Which I still might do, but it's not going to be good for me. But I don't really have mana to sink into the Ambusher, and I don't need the party. So maybe it's double block, like, the Bug Catcher and chump the Champion. I don't necessarily expect to play lands. So how much damage? 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11. Yeah, so I can't lethal them. I have a 4/3 to cast. So I think that's the play. I think I switch modes and go defensive. This isn't pretty, but feels okay. Just your neighborhood 3-for-1. The thing is, the Hellhounds are mostly chump blockers for me right now because I'm not going to play lands. I'm going to discard them to the Chandler. So, not sure if that was right or not. Obviously, it wasn't pretty, but that's going to only add 1 mana, so I can't double spell. We're now on, what, still just 2 instants or sorceries, so we need 2 more. My biggest punt ever in a big tournament? I don't know. It's a good question. Certainly made plenty of horrific plays in my day. I don't really know. Alright, so that will be the 3rd spell. We don't really have anything we want to discard, so this turn might just be Scorch Rider. It's bigger than their stuff. Kind of a weird switch gears there. I mean, we would have lost the race, I think. Like, I could have tried to, like, just chump, not double block, attack back, but I think they would have won this race. Let me think on my biggest punt ever in a tournament. I'm not super hyped about Chaldean previews, but I don't really even check them out. Like, obviously, I've seen a few of the cards people have tweeted about and stuff, but I say this all the time. I really deliberately avoid previews. Not against them or something. I like the surprise. I like going into each set with a kind of a clear head. Preview season just isn't my thing. Hellhound was a good beater in some of the first 2 games when we curved out. This game, it's been bad against another aggro deck, but I mean, I think Hellhound is a filler early drop. I don't think it's good. I wouldn't play it if I had 2 Malak or Blood Priest to play instead. I didn't get a lot of early drops, so I chose to run it. Alright, that's not great, not horrible. I mean, it's a good card, but we can kill the Expedition Champion, and they're only going to have a 1/1 and a 2/2 to block with, so it shouldn't be that bad. Thanks for that subscription, Daisy MTG. Appreciate the support. Nahiri's, like, good, but not, like, super busted. Like, the minuses are not very impressive. Oh, I forgot they would get the free equip, though. So, actually, they're going to have 2 good blockers. So, that's kind of rough. Alright, well, I think now I'm going to take it because I need to attack back with Scorch Rider. This is bad, but I don't think I really have a choice. So if I play the Wizard, it's going to add how much mana? 2. So then I can play the Deadly Alliance. So yeah, I don't think I really have choices. Don't tap my only black, please. What did I do wrong? Well, then they still have a 3-2. I guess they're going to make another one. I guess the equipment makes that play right. I mean, Nahiri is not that scary of a planeswalker that you really want to kill Nahiri and not their best creature and then attack it profitably. Maybe because of the Relic Axe, I'm supposed to kill Nahiri there. Yeah, that might have been a punt. Because I did just kill a 1-1, not an actual 3-2. If they didn't have Relic Axe and this was making a 1-1 and I killed a 3-2, I think my play would be right. But I guess, really, I just killed a 1-1 and now they're going to sit back and play defensive. So, yeah, that might have been a punt. Oh, yeah, it's not that I didn't know it had killed the Planeswalker. It's like, you almost always, if the Planeswalker's not some super broken scary card, you'd almost always rather kill the creature and pressure the Planeswalker. It's like you killed both, right? Like, I hit it for 4 of its 5 loyalty. The problem is that I was killing like a 1-1 and Relic Axe is going to keep equipping for free and all of that. Alright, this looks like a pretty easy chump. Well, actually, if I play a land... Oh, I have to block or I'm dead. So, yeah. Alright, I can kill Nahiri, but I'm just dead on board. Pretty much just dead on board regardless. I guess I can play the Skitter Sneak. What happens if I attack Nahiri with just the Scorch Rider, and then I play the Skitter Sneak? If they let Nahiri go, they have the 3 attackers, but I can take 1. If they move the axe, I can take 2. If they chump, then it's a fine attack. Skitter Sneak can eat Spark Mage, and I can chump the champion, or I can trade Skitter Sneak for champion if they attack with just that. So I think it's just Scorch Rider. I mean, I can't Mace, unfortunately. I would like to, but I would just be dead. Hey, another Reed raid. Thank you, Reed, for the giant raid. Appreciate the support. Hope you had a good stream. Pretty fortunate starting my stream when one of the true heroes of Magic, Reed, usually signs off. He has graciously raided us a ton of times, and we really appreciate it. Your timing isn't perfect because we're about to lose to a Nahiri, but that's all right. We're 2-0 in this draft. We're about to be 2-1. Yeah, thanks. We had a good day yesterday. We went like 4-3, 6-3, 7-1 or something. And then today we started off 2-0, so we climbed up to 21st, but we're about to lose this game. Well, our choice is block or die, so that makes that easy. Oh, Leyline Tyrant. We were already losing, but, you know, it was still a grind. We have the Chandler, but I think that will seal the deal. So if I Mason attack, I'm dead. If they untap the Leyline, I'm dead. Yeah, we have outs. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I played that game optimally, but I also think, like, the opponent already had a good start, and then Spark Mage kill creature, and then Nahiri and Leyline Tyrant. I don't think there's any paths to victory there. Just a cool red-white aggro with, like, some good firepower from the opponent. I don't have plans to play the Arena Cube. I've been playing poker, like, since the other Magic Pros got me into it, like, almost 20 years ago. Like, 2003. Oh, that's awesome, Wolfpack. 2003 Worlds was a great tournament. The top 4 was near perfect. It was Shahar, me, Reed, and Josh Utter-Layton. And even though Shahar is the luckiest, and that's not really disputable, he played pretty well, and the finals against Reed was really epic. For anybody who didn't catch that, me and Shahar's match, like, game 1 was epic, and then Shahar versus Reed went to 5, and was just, like, a really sweet match, and, like, Reed started out 2-0. Obviously, Reed got somewhat unlucky, but it was an epic, great finals. Nothing, Bernader. I don't even know why I activated it before conceding. I had no outs. I mean, Magic's a harder game in my opinion, but it's harder to make money at it also. Like, Magic's more skill intensive, but there's way less money in it. All right, let's see. We're going to play a land, and then GOP'd. Doesn't matter whether we play a swamp or a mountain. I don't really think so. Racing Lifelinkers isn't great, but since Hellhound is only bigger on our turn, it's not like we can leave it back to block the healer. Ask me all these questions tomorrow during ads and chats, y'all. I know it's kind of interesting to play poker for a living, but it's like, I want to focus on the Magic stuff. Okay, let's see. So we don't have any party types out. Definitely going to play a land because it pumps both our creatures. And the Night Runner looks good right now. It stops the healer if they play a Cleric, so they can't hit me for 2 lifelink. So this turn looks pretty easy, I guess, actually. It's just land Night Runner. Unlike against those blue-green decks, I'm not that interested in getting the flyer out as early as possible to maximize damage. I'm more interested in having something that can block the healer so that they can't hit me for 2 lifelink. All right, let's see. So land is a good draw. I mean, I can attack with everything. Their best block is what? Probably like a double on the Night Runner. Maybe I don't give them that. Maybe I just attack with the Hellhound and the Geopede. Like, I want to play the land so that I can attack with the Geopede. If they want to kill it, they can double block it and lose both. I'm happy. If they want to double block the Hellhound, they'll get a bunch of life, but I think I'm cool with that because I don't have any more lands to play. The Hellhound's almost a dead card. So I think what I want to do here is play the land and then attack with the Hellhound and the Geopede. I see no reason to give them a block on the Night Runner. And then post-combat, I'm going to play the Blight Priest, even though it's not going to connect. Assuming they double... If they take 7 and go to 4, I might not. I might pass and play Skydancer. But assuming they double block Hellhound or Geopede, they're still at tons of life. They're going to trigger the Vial twice. They're going to gain 4 in combat. So then I'm going to play the Blight Priest, because that's going to give me a different creature type to lower the cost of the Colossus to 5 for next turn. Whereas the Skydancer is another rogue, and I already have out the Night Runner. So if they take the 7, I'm going to pass the turn and play Skydancer. But if they make a double block on either creature, so their life is not like going to change by very much, in fact, I'll probably end up a few life points higher than 11, then I'm going to cast the 3/2, the Blight Priest, because that will allow me to play a 7/5 next turn. Yeah, the way I often describe cash game poker is imagine if you could be like a professional Magic player and go to F&M, and instead of the buy-in being like $5 or $10, it was $500. That's basically... live cash game poker. All right, they chose to take it, so now I'm going to pass the turn. Now that they're actually at 4, even if they hit back up to 8, if they kill the Night Runner, hit me for 4, they're at a pretty low life total. So now I'm going to choose to play the Skydancer. If I draw a land, I can still play the Seagate, but now I'm going to prioritize getting out the evasive creature. Had they double blocked either creature, their life total would be way higher, right? Thanks again, Reed. I don't know if you're still out there or not, but I really do appreciate the raid. Reed has rated our stream a ton, and obviously has a very good stream and a very big stream, so I definitely really appreciate the support. After this game, I'm going to quickly put the deck on screen so any of Reed's viewers that are sticking around can see it. It's a red-black aggro. It's pretty medium. Like, it's not bad. I have double Deadly Alliance, double Synchronized Spellcraft, Magmatic Chandler. I've got a Ravager's Mace. You know, plenty of decent cards. But I also had to play a few filler early drops like the Hellhounds because I didn't see a lot of good 2s and some stuff like that. So if I double block here, they're getting their 4 life either way, so they're effectively at 8. If I double block, I trade Night Runner and Skydancer for the healer. That does shut off the other healer's lifelink. They'll gain the 1 and go to 9 from Vial. It does end the current problem of these lifelinkers, but this is only pumped until end of turn. The 2/3 should stop the 2/2s on future turns, so I don't think I want to lose the flyer. I wouldn't hate, like, 2-for-1ing myself in this spot. I just don't think I want to throw away an evasive creature that should hit for 2 a turn in the air. Okay, Synchronized Spellcraft has to be a good draw here. So So I only have one creature type out, so they're effectively at 7. I can attack with the Geopede. If they double block with the healers, no, it's not good for me. I guess I actually don't really have a good spellcraft this turn. If I spellcraft the Outrider pre-combat and then attack with the Night Runner and the Geopede, they'll double block the Night Runner or the Geopede. Yeah, I don't actually have a great turn here. Think I actually am just going to hit for 2 and pass or something like that. I'd rather cast Spellcraft, I think, soon than Blight Priest. This is why, if they didn't take all that damage, I was going to play the Blight Priest so I could drop Colossus this turn. Obviously, all I need to do is draw land to do that either way. I think now I would certainly rather have Synchronized Spellcraft than Blight Priest out this turn. So I'm just going to hit for 2 and pass. If they go for, like, removal on the Night Runner so that they can attack, I'm going to Spellcraft one of the healers to shut off both lifelinks effectively. If they play a creature, then end of turn we'll Spellcraft whatever the best thing they play is. I know that they have Relic Vial out, but I don't care. If they sack the creature in response, they get a card. That's not important. They're at 6. They have 5 cards in hand. This is the kind of game that board advantage matters a lot, and card advantage doesn't matter that much. I can cast any spell in my deck. So if I draw a land, I'll just cast, the Seagate. If I draw a spell, I can cast it. Okay, so now it's a no-brainer to kill that healer, I think. I mean, they only have 2 creature types, so there's no reason to respond. I can do it in combat, right? It's going to be a 4/4. But I'm almost certainly going to kill that. Not going to let them hit and gain 4 life. Synchronized Spellcraft does fizzle if the target's illegal, but who cares? The creature's still dead. It's not like if they sack the creature, the creature lives. It's dead. They sacked it. We'd miss the 1 point of damage from the Spellcraft pinging them, but the creature would still be dead, right? Alright, so now they don't have lifelink. I still don't think we have attacks on the ground unless we draw land, but we can drop 2 more creatures, so that looks fine for this turn. Oh, maybe this actually... I don't know if this fizzles or not, but like I said, either way the creature's dead. Who cares? We're just talking about whether it does 1 damage. But is this multi-targeting? I don't think so. I think this only targets the creature. I think it does fizzle, but again, it fizzles because the creature's dead, so that's the same thing. Except we would miss the 1 point of damage. But that's not... Like, the goal is not to have your spell resolved when you play a removal spell. The goal is to kill the creature you're targeting, right? If your opponent... Like, if you were to... Pretend this didn't ping the opponent for 1... And you were to go, pretend it was like, murder, and you murdered your opponent's creature, and they sacked it in response. Your murder fizzles, but who cares? The creature's dead. If I spellcraft their creature and they sack the vial in response, yeah, the spellcraft fizzles, but the creature's dead. So it's like I spellcrafted the creature to death either way. I would just miss the 1 point of damage, which, again, who cares? Well, they get the vial trigger either way again as well. Okay, so let's see. I can kill the flyer and attack in the air. I wonder if I can do better than that now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even if I almost take this turn off just to play Seagate, that's just another good attacker, and then when I draw a land, it powers up 2 attackers. So I don't have to make an aggressive play. The opponent has 3 cards in hand. They haven't played a lot of lands this game. We know every card in their hand is a spell. So they could easily have, like, 1 trick, like a Subtle Strike or a Deadly Alliance. Even trades aren't bad for me, but they do trigger the vial. I think I'm just going to slam Seagate and pass the turn. Given a land is a really good draw, and then a spell I can cast, I don't really have a great attack this turn. I think I'm happy to chill. I can stop the vial triggers if I kill their only cleric. So right now, I just don't see an incentive to trade the Sky Dancer for the Gloom Hunter. Let them gain a life from lifelink, let them gain a life from vial. I'm just going to drop a 7/5, see what they do this turn. Because if I draw a land, I can always have 2 more good attackers. If they play a creature, I can kill with Deadly Alliance. Alright, take our 1 and then attack back. If they play a flyer, I can just kill it. This is tense. It's very tight on life. So we got the land, so I'm definitely looking to attack this turn. So my options are what? If I kill the healer and they sack it, they go to 6, and then they're dead, right? All my creatures have at least 2 power, and they have no more lifelink, and they don't get any more Vile triggers. So killing the healer means they're dead unless they have an instant to play. If they have an instant to play, I'm not dead on the swing back, am I? I'm going to be at 11, 3, 6, 7, 9. So, I mean, they can play an instant and survive. I know the healer doesn't have lifelink. The reason to kill it is the Vile triggers. I guess by that logic, I can kill anything. Like, I could kill a 3/3. No, but then they'll get all the Vile triggers when they hit. So the healer's going to block something. They're going to make a couple of trades, and then they'll get the Vile triggers. If I kill the healer now, that's their last Vile trigger. It's their only cleric. So I think that's the right play. Yeah, it's their only cleric, so I'm shutting off all the Relic Vile triggers. I mean, don't get me wrong, if they take lethal, they would be dead anyway, but if if they have removal, I let them make blocks, whatever. I mean, now, like, I think they're just dead. Yeah, I understand if they took 0 and then the Vile triggers happened, they would still die, but... I mean, I guess I could have killed a 3/3 instead of a 2/2 and then let them still have Vile out, but... It's not really much of a difference. Remember, they didn't have to sack it, right? So, like, imagine I kill the Outrider. The 1 Vile trigger happens. They have a card or 2 in hand, and they have 3 mana. So let's say I target the 3/3 Outrider, and let's say they don't sack, right? Because they have, like, some instant removal. They have Vanquish the Weak in their hand. Then I attack with everything, right? They Vanquish something, and then they block 3 others. Now they don't die, right? Now they take 4, and they go down to 2. But then they get all those Vile triggers, right? I mean, all those being 2 or something, but they go back up to 4. So, I mean, you know, if they have nothing, they're dead either way. But if they have a removal, I think I would rather kill the 2/2 and shut off the 2 or 3 Vile triggers than kill a 3/3 and not shut off the Vile triggers, right? They might also get to not lose the healer and then attack back with it. Oh yeah, for all of Reed's viewers, thank you again, Reed, for the big raid, and anybody who wants to see the deck, we're currently like 3 or 4-1, so we're about halfway through this draft run. We've got a pretty average red-black party. 16 lands with 1 land spell modal for 17, a Seagate, a couple spellcrafts, and Deadly Alliances, and just an average mix of beaters. But we have a Magmatic Chandler, Feed the Swarm, Vanquish the Weak. Mace is pretty busted in this deck, not that I ever draw it. Yeah, and it doesn't have to. Vanquish is one specific card. It could be a practice tactics in combat. Also, taking out the cleric, the only cleric, leaves them with only warriors, where if I take out a warrior, then they have a cleric and a warrior, and then practice tactics for 4 kills GOP, whereas practice for 2 doesn't. It just basically seems better to kill the only cleric in that spot for a couple of reasons. Primarily potential vile triggers, and then also, you know, if it ends up living and hitting back and gaining life, that's bad. Alright, so here we're going to play the Hazard because it's their only mountain, that's fine. We don't even mind having the extra land in play, because an extra land we play after it pumps Hellhound. This turn, do we play Hellhound, or do we play a 2-drop? The 2-drops hit for 2 power anyway. The point, but next turn we're going to play Geopede. So I don't think we're looking to double spell, so we probably just play Hellhound. It's the better attacker, and it's the one we want out early. You know, this hand's going to run out of steam. I think I'm going to make a really weird play and just not play a land. Next turn I can go land 2-drop, then land 3-drop. And I don't want to miss the pump out of the land. And this hand's going to run out of steam for sure. So I think I'm going to make a really strange play here that I think is right, and not play land 2 on turn 2. My cards are all cheap, but there's no way I can ride this whole hand to lethal. Also, just with what I have. So I think that's the right play. I'm definitely not confident in it. Yeah, you know, their deck's likely to have cheap cards anyway, playing that color combination. I don't know. I just didn't think like it was too likely I was going to ride that hand to lethal. Alright, I think the Skulker for the Pack Beast is a good trade for me, so let's play land and attack with both. I'm not sure that it was right. I didn't do it to be fancy. I did it because I think it was right. But I could easily be wrong. But I'm not worried about getting run over. All my cards are cheap. If I knew I was going to draw this many lands in a row, I wouldn't have done it. Because, of course, like, I could have pumped the Hellhound and the GOP plenty. But I kind of felt like, you know, I probably would want the extra ammo to pump my creatures. Alright, no real decisions. No reason to attack. I don't really want to trade Skulker for the 2-1. Actually, wait. Yeah, if I attack with both, it's just Ambusher on Hellhound, Skulker for the 2-1. So, we'll just pass. Yeah, I would say it worked out, like, suboptimally. Like, not that it was wrong because of that, but, like, I wasn't going to run them over. They're not running me over, but I drew a lot of land, so I'd have rather played the land on turn 2 and been a little ahead on the curve. But, again, I don't think it mattered much. Let's see. So this to activate costs, what? It's 2 or the other color besides white. So this is going to be cheap to activate. It's going to be like... They can just activate it with those 4 mana, basically. Oh, wait. They have to pay 2 for a green, which they don't have, and 2 for a blue, which they don't have. So it's going to be 6. So they're 1 off. Killing things doesn't really change that. Do I want to trade Skulker off? I do have another Rogue. But it's not like I'm going to kill Tazri with it. I can prevent Tazri from attacking. So I can block Ambusher and save 1, or I can trade for Pack Beast. That's my choice here. I have 2 Deadly Alliances to kill Tazri, but if I don't draw one, I can't kill it. Yeah, 4 red-black. I got you. The question is, do I trade with Pack Beast, or do I block Ambusher? I think I trade with Pack Beast. So, if I play a land and attack, if they block, I Spellcraft. I'm happy enough with that, even though it's not great. Otherwise, the 0-1 can't block anyway, effectively. And then I just play Pack Beast to block Blood Priest, I guess. Unfortunately, Spellcraft doesn't kill Tazri. Tazri's a problem here. Got 2 Deadly Alliances, but if I don't top deck 1, I think this game's pretty much over. Well, it's a big creature with pretty powerful text. They're only 1 land away from activating it. Alright, we can Spellcraft the Minotaur, so now we'll just chill. So I'm just dead, right? Nothing I can do. Bring out Skydancer. One of these gets through and it's lethal no matter what. Yeah, I'm not... Like I said, I know the land on turn 2 play was fancy. I think it worked out slightly negative. I think I still clearly just lose to Tazri either way. But, like, you know, I made the play because I was only holding 2 other lands, so I was expecting to run out of lands. Since I drew 1,000,000 lands, I would have preferred not to do it, but we would have just dealt them a couple extra points and still lost. I mean, they finished that game at 17 or whatever. Basically, that game, we had to draw a Deadly Alliance for Tazri to be in it. No worries, Cat King, no worries. You are the king of my kingdom because I have 4 cats. I have not, Justin, and thank you. Alright, this hand looks good. I mean, what is a list? Well, depending. I don't know if I want you to tell me that or not. Where is the mace? Good question. Nobody knows. I mean, I don't mind knowing about a new mechanic. I just don't want to start evaluating each individual card. If you tell me what the mechanic is, like, that's cool. Okay, so which two drop to play? Not Chandler. We're not looking to activate it anytime soon, and the others are bigger. I think Skulker, probably. We can ensure that Skulker can attack because we have Skydancer to play next turn no matter what. Well, that makes it easy. We can double spell this turn, and I'll happily use Spikefill Hazard. I'm not worried about not having more lands. I still have enough lands to cast every card in my hand, and if I draw 4 or 5, I can discard it to Chandler, or I just have other stuff to do while I'm waiting to draw lands. So we can play 2 spells here on turn 3 and get ahead. Well, again, not too hard. I'm going to keep Chandler, but that's not great for us, obviously. Hopefully they milled an instant or sorcery. They didn't. We need 3 more to pump up this Chandler. Ouch. That's a scary card. I mean, they don't have any dead clerics. I don't know what to do now. I want to spellcraft that away. I mean, I'm a land short. Do I discard the land? What can I hit? I have a Vanquish and a Feed the Swarm. Oh, and 2 Deadly Alliances I can cast, right? The Deadly Alliance only costs 2 right now. So if I activate the Chandler, I think I'm on like a 5-outer to kill that. And they don't have a Cleric back, so killing it would be awesome. So I gotta go for it, right? Feed the Swarm, Vanquish, 2 Deadly Alliances. Or that's a 4-outer. I don't know why I said 5. I do not think Chandler's a dead card outside of Blue-Red Wizards. I think it's a fantastic card. I can't cast the Seagate for 3, right? No, I only have 3 creatures out, sadly. So we'll take the Mountain. Trying to race Lifelinkers is near impossible, but I've got plenty of removal. Unlike the Tazri, this dies to like all my removal. If I knew they had nothing, I'd block with Skulker, but if I block with Skulker and they kill Pack Beast, I'm literally in tears. If I draw land, I can kill that. If I draw Vanquish, Feed the Swarm, or Deadly Alliance, I can kill that. So, I think that we certainly don't want to kill it, or don't want to block with Skulker. It's too risky. So now it's interesting. So I can Chandler. If I hit one of those removal, great. I have the Spellcraft for later, and I turn Mountain into removal. If I hit a land and like a medium-sized creature, I can always just play the land, and then all I did was cycle a mountain for another mountain. Who cares if I lose the medium-sized creature? I could also just play the land and the Spellcraft, so I'm not sure what I want to do. I guess if I'm not going to block, I should have sent the Death Toucher, but if they didn't have a removal or a trick, they wouldn't attack into the Death Toucher necessarily. So that's why I held the Death Toucher up. I mean, there is upside in discarding the Mountain, right? It's not just that I'm on a 4-outer. It's that I'll just hit a land the vast majority of the time otherwise, right? Like, if I hit the 4-outer, I get to preserve Spellcraft for later. If I don't, I can just hit a land, play the land, and still play the Spellcraft. Yeah, I could just attack with the Chandler here, though. It's not like there's practice tactics or anything to flash in. Alright, alright. I won't be greedy. It's hard for me, but I won't be greedy. Well, I'm not going to do it now unless they tap their mana, regardless. But I don't need them to flash in. I don't need to block and then they kill the Pack Beast and then I do the Spellcraft. Like, that doesn't offer a ton of upside. I'd rather just kill the Hierophant here while they're tapped, I think. That's not a Cleric, so I can let that die first. I wish they'd mill some instants and sorceries. Alright, well now I can't shut that off because they have 2 creature types. I obviously want to kill the Hierophant, so let's do that before my creatures die for max damage. Sadly, they had Skydancer and Practice Tactics. If they just had Practice Tactics, that would have worked out much better for us. But hopefully they don't have removal for Chandler, and then if we draw land, we're discarding, and if we draw spells, we're casting it. How many instants and sorceries are we at? 1, 2 still? This is only number 3. Alright, well, we're not going to discard that, so I guess for now, let's just chill. No need to respond to that. We can always just let it out and then play the spellcraft. Now, which are we going to kill, though? Any of the three are fine targets for the spellcraft, right? We can block the healer and take 1 from the Blight Priest and they gain 2. Probably just kill the Blight Priest, I think. Oh, yeah, it says it right on the Chandler that I have 2. You're right, Shando. Good call. Good call, Thunderwong and Mr. Fancy Pants. So, which of these 3 do I want to kill? I think it's the Blight Priest, but I'm not sure. The longer the game goes, the better for me, because every time I draw land, I can discard it to the Chandler. So I think killing the Blight Priest means I take the least and prolong the game the most. Cool, and now I can turn the Chandler on at instant speed, so if they don't play around that, if they play a Cleric pre-combat attack, I can get a real blowout. Kill 2 creatures. Ah, they played around it. Good opponents. So, do we Deadly Alliance the Gloom Hunter? Yeah, I think so. Again, we're looking to prolong the game. If we draw a land, we can discard it. If we draw spells, we can cast it. So, just gonna chill. Hopefully they don't have removal. I mean, they're clearly not holding any. They could have already played it. Alright, so now in response to that, I probably want to kill a creature. I wasn't going to Deadly Alliance one of the 2/2s because they're not that important, but I'm not going to be able to Deadly Alliance them after the Bile comes out. So now, I mean, I can, but they would draw a card. So now it's worth it. Pretty easy attack. Trade Electromancer for healer. If they attack. If they don't attack, cool, whatever. I wouldn't say that's a ghost. I mean, it could be, but it could easily not be. So they're gaining 2 to trigger the Scion either way. So blocking, it gives the Scion the 1 extra from the trigger, but it stops the healer indefinitely, so I think it's kind of a no-brainer. That Scion could be tough for us. We just use back-to-back Deadly Alliances. I have a Feed the Swarm. I don't have a lot. This is an interesting one. So how many cards can I hit that are better than Skitter Sneak? Because it's not a free loot. I have to discard. It's a rummage. I have to discard first. If I hit the feed, that would be great. They can't even sack right now. But not too many cards left that are better than Skitter Sneak, right? So maybe I just put out a 4/4 and pass. I mean, I can race if they brick here. Hopefully they draw a land this turn. Yuck. I am, it's just not working. I have untapped, but it just seems to not be working today. Wow, I did not think I was going to lose this game. I mean, good series of draws by the opponent. I wonder if I messed up at all. I don't think so. Now I lose. Even Feed the Storm doesn't work. I don't even know if I have outs. I mean, I probably have something, but... 1 point short? You gotta be kidding me. Nah, because if they gain 1, that means the Scion's dead and then I'm winning. Like, yeah, they wouldn't take lethal, but... If they had 1 less point of life here, yeah, they're not lethal, but they sack the Scion, they gain 1, the Scion's not in play, and then I win with my creatures. Boo. I mean, don't get me wrong, 4-3, that's about right for this deck. It was a pretty mediocre deck, but lost some really close ones, and that one I thought I was in a really good shape. I don't know if I punted that or not. Oh, 3-3 even? Wow. But, I mean, this deck wasn't that good, so hopefully the second draft will go better. That was a tough draft. Yeah, I did mostly. I mean, they definitely outdrew me, but I did have a lot of options, so I don't know if I played optimally or not. I mean, I wouldn't have Deadly Alliance a 2/2 healer just to do it, but they played Relic Vial, so that means, you know, if they're pretty much out of stuff, if I Deadly Alliance a creature later, they're going to draw a card. So that seemed like it had to be correct at the time. I don't know if I missed any hits with Chandler where they wouldn't have hit back. Like, obviously, it's possible that a deal 4 and then they deal 2 to me and gain 2, which is, effectively 2 to both of us, would have won me that game, but that doesn't mean it was right. If I ever just missed an attack for 4, that's bad, but I don't think I did. Like, the turn I didn't attack and then they didn't attack into the Chandler, yeah, I could have killed something on my turn and turned into a 4/4, but, like, then they wouldn't block and they'd attack back with the healers. Yeah, when they had the 2/2/2s, but I'm saying, like, if I attack there and they don't block like they almost certainly wouldn't, and then I kill one of them, they get to attack back with the other 2/2, so they hit for 2 and gain 2. And at that point, I wasn't going to use the Deadly Alliance on a 2/2. I only did that because they cast Relic Vial. If they had just cast a different creature, I would not have Deadly Allianced either healer in that spot. So, yeah, I think my play was right. Oh, the 2/2 Death Touch the turn they... Oh, wow, yeah, kaboom, you're right. I left it up because they wouldn't attack if they didn't have a trick necessarily, but they had a lot of cards in hand. Yeah, that attack maybe I should have made kaboom. That might have won me that game. If I would have just attacked with the 2/2 Death Touch or the turn they had Aura. I knew it had Death Touch. I didn't attack because they're not going to attack back with Aura unless they have something, because I might block. But, yeah, that attack, kaboom. You're right. Maybe I should have made that attack. It was only that one turn, I think, really. But, yeah, that one turn, yeah, I probably should have attacked. Okay, so, yeah, GOP is just the best card, and it's one color. It's not a great first pick. It's a bad pack. But GOP is a good aggressive red card. My next choice out of this pack would have been Pair Tactician, probably, and then, like, Skulker. It is a very bad pack, and you're not happy about first picking a GOP, but it's not a horrible first pick. I'm not going to first pick the Relic. Only if we do another stip draft where I'm forced to draft all the rares. Which was fun, right? I think I 3-0'd in that stipulation draft, where I had to take and play every rare I saw. That was a cool stipulation. So, GOP's best in red-green, so we could definitely take Sproutling. I mean, look, you don't have to be a kicker deck if you prioritize your Royal Eruptions, your Gnarled Colonies, and your other kicker stuff the whole way. But we could take Pack Beast. It's not that much worse than Sproutling, and it's good in any deck. So I think this is either Sproutling or Pack Beast. Little more, Sproutling's a little better, but Pack Beast goes a little better with our first pick and can go in any deck. I don't see a reason to take anything besides Sproutling or Pack Beast out of this pack. I think Pack Beast leaves us more open. GOP's good in any red aggro deck. Okay, this is an easy Deadly Alliance. I guess I'm the only one who likes good unconditional instant speed, cheap removal in this format. No, I'm just kidding, but these have been coming late over the past few days. But, I mean, the next best cards are like Stomper and Core Celebrant. This is just an easy Deadly Alliance. Maybe we'll get to run back a better red-black party deck this time. Who knows? Obviously, I'm not committed to red at all. I mean, I'm not committed to black at all either, but third pick Deadly. And it seems like black is open. Certainly, I think we want to take Black Bloom Rogue or Blood Priest here. Thank you, Your Solarius. I probably didn't pronounce your name right, but I do appreciate your support. Blood Priest. Someone said Easy Rogue and someone said Blood Priest. I actually think it's close. If I knew for sure I'm Black-Red Party, I might go Blood Priest. There is a chance I still play like Black-Blue Rogues or something where the Black Bloom is better. I don't think it's easy at all. I think it's close. I think the Black Bloom is a little better overall, and the Blood Priest is a little better in Black-Red. But the Blood Priest is still good in the other black decks too, so I think it's close. I'm not going to take Spellcraft. It's going to be one of the black cards. I think it's the Rogue, but it's close. I think that's a very close pick. In Black-Red Party, the Blood Priest is a little better, but Blood Priest is still just good in Black-White and Black-Blue and whatever. In Black-Blue Rogues, the Rogue is better by a substantial amount. But again, Blood Priest is still fine. And again, in Black-Red Party or something, Black Bloom Rogue is still fine. It's not like this is a bad card in Black-Red. Rogue is a good type to hit, and it's a land spell modal creature. So I think that was just a super close pick. Speaking of, if we were definitely Black-Red, we'd want the Spellcraft. But at this point, I feel like we're seeing black, and we don't know if we're going to be red or not. I might actually take the Electromancer if I knew we were going to be Black-Red. This is also just a good type to lock up, and it's a Black-Red's a party deck. But at this point, we're seeing black, we don't know what else, so I think I'm just going to Skydancer and keep our options open. It's not like the difference between Electromancer, Spellcraft, and Skydancer is that significant. All of those cards are just like fine playables, nothing special. So we might as well stay on color. Because remember, this was our first pick. We haven't seen very good red. We've seen red playables, but we don't know if we're going to play red. We're very likely to play black. We got, third pick Deadly Alliance, and there's been more black cards in the packs we've been passing. But we don't know if we're red or not. I don't know when the last time I drafted Clerics is. Hopefully next draft or this draft. I love black-white Clerics. But I haven't been getting or seeing the Relic Vials in the uncommons. So now it's Skulker or Mindcarver. Mindcarver's better than Skulker in blue-black, but we don't have any 2-drops yet, and we don't have a second color yet, so I'm still just going to go with Skulker. And we're just going to end up drafting mono-black at this point. I mean, this is an easy predation. There's not a lot of reward, virtually any, for being one color in this format, so there's almost no chance we'll play mono-black or even close to mono. But there is a reward in draft for staying one color in pack 1 if you can, because that means if we open a broken card in any color, we can play it, right? Like next pack, if we open a blue, a red, a green, or a white broken rare, we can just take it and play it. So for now, towards the end of pack 1, we're just going to prioritize black cards. This way we can stay open, at least for the start of pack 2, which means we can play a broken rare in any color. This is actually one of my favorite ways drafts go, where you're basically committed to one color after pack 1 that you know you're seeing. And then at the start of pack 2, like pick 1, pick 2, pack 2, you can play any color card, which means you can play any mythic, any bomb, any broken rare. So I actually like when drafts start like this. I do agree we want to lean rogues, but we don't need to be rogues. We have plenty of black rogues to turn on the Skulkers. Black Bloom, Skydancer, all this stuff's good in any deck. I'm not going to take Living Tempest over Blight Priest. If we do go black-white Clerics, we'll miss the Blight Priest. If we go black-blue, we're not going to miss the Tempest. Kite Sail in case we end up black-red aggro. Smite's a good sideboard card, but I don't like to main it, and this is best of 1. If it was best of 3, I would consider it. Smite is a good sideboard card. For those of you who play mostly best of 1, but occasionally do a best of 3. Smite, while it's not a card I ever want to main deck in best of 1, it is an actively good sideboard card. Well, not an off-color multicolor, but I don't know if there's too many of those that are even that broken. Like, Nahiri's good if you're red-white. It's not that broken. Alright, so let's see. So we're not going to take a black card. Although I guess we could take Construct if we don't want to have to commit to a second color. Construct is good. It's not broken by any stretch, but it's good. 4-mana 4/4 with a little upside, I would describe it as. If we're not taking Construct, what are we taking? There's like a Coom Warrior and like Emiria Captain. Emiria Captain would be pretty good. Since black and white share Clerics and we have a lot of rogues, this thing's going to be like a 4/4 like every time. I don't think Emiria Captain's enough better than Myriad Construct, though, to take it. So I think this is just a Myriad Construct. Listen, I don't think Myriad Construct's amazing or anything. If I knew we were going to play black-white with these black cards, I would take the Emiria Captain. Because, I mean, we're going to have Clerics if we go black-white, and then we already have a bunch of Rogues and a Pack Beast. So I think the Emiria Captain would be better in our deck if we end up black-white than the Construct. But why take a white card? It wouldn't be committing, but why take a white card? We can still play any broken card in any color, and we can just get a Myriad Construct, which is effectively a black card at this point. Alright, again, we can't really take a black card. I mean, we're not going to take Blood Beckoning or Subtle Strike over good cards like these. Thundering Spark Mage is excellent in black-red party. Grakmaw is better if we go black-green. Black-green doesn't use rogues as well as black-red or black-blue. We did see a couple Brutes late. Not that those are good, but maybe green is available. I mean, Grakmaw is definitely better than Spark Mage. We did see more red than green in pack 1. And we have a Geopede. Grakmaw is the best card in the pack, yeah. But it's basically a green card. But I guess, I mean, Spark Mage is quite good in black-red. If this was like Spellcraft, I wouldn't be thinking. I would just Windmill Slam Grakmaw, right? So it looks like this is a pretty easy Blood Priest. I mean, there's not like... Aesthetic's fine in black-green. It's not like some exciting green card. We would want to prioritize black cards. We can't use spoils. So for now, it's just an easy Blood Priest. Again, it's an easy Zoth consumption. I mean, the vast majority of the drafts where I'm seeing one color like this pack 1, I commit early pack 2. But if we're not going to see anything that really forces us to commit, we could still stay open into pack 3. I mean, if we're just going to get good black cards every pick. Roiling Regrowth is great if it lets you splash, and it's really good with landfall, but we don't really have anything we want to splash or any landfall, so I think we just take another Zoff. I know I said we weren't going to play mono black. Maybe I lied to you. It wasn't on purpose. But if the best card in the pack is just going to be black every pick, I mean, another Zoff, a Rebirth, like, alright. I guess we're black and we have no second color going into pack 3. So everything I said going into pack 2, now we can open a bomb in any color in pack 3. Obviously, we have one good red card and one good green card, so, you know, that's a little bit of an incentive to take a green or a red over a black or a blue. But our deck also lends itself to black-blue the best, since we do have, you know, some 8 in the graveyard synergy with Black-Bloom Rogue, and also, you know, the Skulkers. Here, I mean, if we do go black-green, we'd want Survivor, but I think Geyser Mage, if we go black-blue, has a lot more upside than Survivor for black-green, so I'm going to grab the Geyser Mage. Geyser Mage is an actively good card. Survivor's like a filler 2, and we don't need a filler 2 at all. We have Pack Beast, Blood Priest, Double Skulker. Yes, it puts a counter on things when we have Grakmaw, so I would play it, but it's still a filler 2. Sneaking Guide is a good card in red-black aggro party decks. So, I mean, at this point, Akoum Warrior here is the best by miles, but at this point, we're just black. Like, we literally do not have a second color. We're just black. We're 100% to play black, and we can play black literal anything. I mean, we don't really have much incentive to go black-white at this point, because we don't have cards that are really better in Clerics except the Blight Priest, and we have aggro stuff. But, you know, red is our best second color right now with Akoum Warrior and Geopede. Green, not far behind with just Grakmaw. Our black cards want to be in black-blue the most, because we have rogue stuff, so we have a Geyser Mage. So we're leaning black-red ever so slightly, but really we're just black. I think most likely we're going to have some pretty diverse creature types. One Seagate should be good in our deck. I don't hate a Subtle Strike. Like, I would play it, but I think that, like, with a Pack Beast, with Rogues, with a Cleric, with a Wizard, Warrior, I think we're pretty likely to want the one copy of Seagate. Squid, pretty much just the only playable if we do end up black-blue. These cards really don't matter. I mean, Living Tempest is not unplayable, but it's bad. I know, I'm kind of low on Subtle Strike. It's not unplayable. It just doesn't make my deck very often because I'm a little low on it, and there's plenty of playables in this format. But I honestly don't hate Subtle Strike or anything. I think it's a fine 1 to 2 of, like, as a trick. The thing is, black has 3 common removal spells that are all better than Subtle Strike. So, like, your black decks just end up with, like, a wide array of better spells. Like, there are a lot of formats where I think Subtle Strike would be an almost auto-include, but I'm never playing it over Vanquish, Feed, or Deadly. And then, you know, green has Rabid Bite, and white is Binding, and, you know, there's just a lot of removal. I mean, it's a fine card. I'm not against playing it. Like I said, I consider it a solid playable. It just ends up being like one of my last couple cuts, or I just end up taking something else over because I already have 5 spells better than it, or whatever. But I'm not like anti-Subtle Strike. I think I value it a little lower than most, but it's not even filler. It's a solid playable in my opinion. Zagreus would be awesome. Zagreus, whatever it's called. That would be possibly my number 1 card to open in the set right now. I guess it's theoretically better to open Drana. I think Drana is worse than Zagreus, but also it's only black, so then we can still get the best card out of the pack, pick 2. Well, there's a Soaring Thought Thief. I mean, we definitely saw more red than blue, but we also have a ton of little rogues, so Soaring Thought Thief is pretty busted for us. If we don't take Soaring Thought Thief, there's a Synchronized Spellcraft. Fine card for Black-Red Party. Feel like this is the kind of busted card that we have to take over something like Spellcraft. Like, if there was like a Royal Eruption, I'd probably take Royal Eruption over Soaring Thought Thief. But I don't think I want to take Synchronized Spellcraft over Soaring Thought Thief. So let's take the Thought Thief and see what's in the next pack. Well, now there's a Stinger, and that goes really well with Thought Thief. So I think we're going to hone in on Black-Blue Rogues, right? Getting 2 Rogue Uncommons here to go with all of our cheap Rogues that we already had seems good to me. So this looks like a pretty easy Blood Priest. I mean, we're going to deal damage. We have doubles off, and we have Rogues. Blood Priest should be excellent in our deck. Since we're not Clerics, we're Rogues. It's always going to drain for 2. If we get some surprisingly busted red card late, maybe we'll splash since we have the red Coon Warrior, but I'm not going to plan to. Oh, there's a good red card late. But I'm probably just going to take Skulker or Sky Dancer. We have a Pack Beast, and we have an Coon Warrior if we wanted to do a light red splash. But I do think we want to be black-blue, right? Duelist is good, but I think the Blood Priest is better. Now I think it's a really close pick between Skulker and Sky Dancer. We have plenty of 2s. We have 7 2-drops. The Mill 2 helps with what? Thought Thief and Black Bloom Rogue? I think the Sky Dancer is a little better for us. We do it. The Mill synergy is good. So this is an easy Geyser Mage. Blight Priest is not good for us. I mean, we have 2 Zoffs and 2 Blood Priests. If we need a filler 3, we can play it. But, I mean, we're not hoping to play that card. But the Wizards are nice, because they'll add fuel to the 2 Blood Priests as well. Yeah, 3-3 the first draft. Which, look, it was a mediocre black-red. Like, my wins were less close than my losses, so it felt kind of like I got unlucky, especially in that very last game. But that was a mediocre deck. That was not a very good black-red, to be clear. I think we might actually want Living Tempest in this deck. We have double Zoff and double Blood Priest, so we're going to be pretty good at racing. That's why I took the Sky Dancer over the Skulker. I think Flyers have a lot of value for us, because it's going to be really hard to race double Zoff consumption and double Mulliker Blood Priest, and just a good curve overall. Wow, and there's a really late Attended Healer, but that ship has obviously sailed. So, we're not going to want the 2-3 Flyer, so I'll grab a Blight Priest in case we need it. I mean, if I need to run Blight Priest in this deck, it's not the end of the world. We have 2 Zoffs and 2 Blood Priests. Plus, it's a Cleric, which doesn't fuel the Blood Priest, which is the main thing we want creature types to fuel, but it lowers the cost of Deadly Alliance. It can add 1 to Drana Silencer and stuff like that. Alright, easy Sky Dancer. I think Sky Dancer is awesome for us. Like I said, cheap aggressive Flyers are going to get better if you have stuff like double Zoff, double Blood Priest. We want to race. We welcome races. Thanks, Janice. I'll settle for 24 and 5 months. You're awesome. I appreciate it. Wow, so if we did want to splash red, I mean, now we can get a free red source. We could splash like a Coon Warrior, but, I mean, we don't really want to splash Geopede. I don't think we're going to play these black cards. Oh, Skitter Sneak's actually pretty good for us. We mill a lot. We'll just take Skitter Sneak. Let's not be greedy. I don't love Skitter Sneak in a lot of black rogue decks, but we have 3 Sky Dancers, Soaring Thought Thief, and Shadow Stinger. So we're going to put 8 in their yard. So let's not be too greedy, shall we? I don't think this trick is good, but there's no way we're going to use any of these other cards. This land is so bad. I don't understand why this doesn't come to play untapped. Alright, now we can pick up a Field Research. Hey, we tabled the Skulker when I took the Sky Dancer over it. That's awesome. That's a really nice last playable for our deck that will definitely make it. We have plenty of Landspell modals, so... Sky Dancer, I mean, Kite Sail, the more Flyers you have, the worse Kite Sail is. Literally, like, you know, a third to half our creatures have flying, right? Like, you know, we have plenty of non-flyers, but, like, they're mostly small, and we also have 3 Sky Dancers, Living Tempest, Soaring Thought Thief. So when we already have 5 Flyers, I wouldn't consider a Kite Sail. Yeah, this deck came together pretty nicely. Alright, let's see. We don't put counters on things, so we don't want Oblivion's Hunger. Like, we literally don't do that at all. Living Tempest, I think, is going to work out quite well in this deck. So let's see. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 Landspell modals, and they're all black. But they're pretty good ones. I don't mind casting those. But so let's assume we do something like that. That gives us 11-8. That's 19 lands with the flexibility. And then that's 40 exactly. Wow. But I don't think we want the Silencer, right? We're mostly rogues, and we're an aggro deck, and we have some top end with the Zoffs and the Seagate. I don't think the Silencer's playable in this deck. I think I'd rather just have a cheap Cleric. I wouldn't say we need 8 blue, but I mean, these are double blue when kicked. And I mean, do you really want more black? We have 11 black sources. Maybe we cut 1 blue, but I don't know. I could just play 1 more Swamp. It's not like I mind casting Black Room Rogue, Predations, off consumptions. My Landspell modals are pretty strong. I could just cut the Blight Priest. That's not really offering us much. get another black that way. I mean, even though, yeah, I have 5 land spell modals, so this is effective 20 lands, they're good land spell modals. I can always just use this to save a creature. I've got lots of good creatures to save that are cheap and going to force trades. This is a good 5/3 menace. These are drain for 4s. I think I'll just do that. Because the 3/2 is a pretty weak card. Yeah, I could put in the Highborn Vampire. It does help fuel these Blood Priests. The Highborn would be better than the Blight Priest, I think, if I want a last playable. I think you're right. Good suggestion. Whoever said, why not the Warrior? Whoever said that first. I see a couple people saying it. You're definitely right. I'm not sure whether I want the Swamp or the Vampire, but you're 100% right that the Vampire is better than the Blight Priest in my deck. I think it's really close. I can cut the Swamp. I mean, I'm still going to have 11 black sources. But again, if I draw a couple Swamps, then I just, cast an extra Predation or Malika Rebirth or Zoff. So it's close. I think it's really close between Highborn Vampire and Swamp 7. But I 100% agree with you. Highborn Vampire is better than Blight Priest for my deck. And I don't even think that's that close. I could also cut Squid, and then maybe I could cut an Island, actually. Because Squid is my only blue 2-drop, and I like Squid just fine, but I have 7 2-drops. What if I cut Squid? That makes cutting an Island easier. Then I can drop in, like, the Highborn, and then I still get another playable if I want it. I'm not going to cut Tempest. It's single blue, and I'm going to race really well. I want Tempest. But Squid, if I cut, I still have 7 2-drops. It's not a party type, and I have a decent amount of party synergy. And I can go down an Island, maybe, because then I don't have a blue 2-drop, and I cut a blue card. Yeah, I could put the Silencer back in. But I'm on 14 hard lands here. I know I have 5 land spell modals, but again, I'm hoping to cast them a decent amount. Maybe I play the Blight Priest and the Highborn Vamp. Thought Thief's a blue 2-drop, but the other 6 don't cost blue, and I'm still on 7 islands plus Pack Beast. I don't think I want the Silencer. I think I would play the Blight Priest. A land just looks better to me. I guess, I mean, I could still play the Squid, but I think a land is just better. Blight Priest is okay. It's really good with Core Celebrant, and it's really good with Gloom Hunter, but I don't have any Gloom Hunters, and I'm not white. If I had, like, a Gloom Hunter or 2, I'd definitely be playing the Blight Priest. Squid is a better card. I mean, it is blue, but I'm still on 7 islands. It's not that bad, plus Pack Beast. Yeah, I could main the Negate. I do have a decent amount of flash speed. I have Living Tempest, Deadly Alliance, 3 Sky Dancers, and Thought Thief. I think I just prefer a land. Utility Knife sucks. Yeah, I'm not going to play Utility Knife. I think I just want another land. I'm just going to put the Island back in. Now I kind of want to put the Squid back in. It's still the weakest of all my 2-drops. So what's better, Squid or Highborn Vampire in this deck? It's pretty close. Yeah, land is the best, I think. I agree. Alright, I'm going to go with this. I would play the Squid, except we have 7 other 2-drops, so we should have a 2-drop every game. And Field Research and Geyser Mage are both blue in the kicker, so it's not like we don't want double blue. And we have 0 blue land spell modals, so I don't mind having 8 islands. Alright, clearly we gotta put this off as a land, even I'm not that greedy. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, so it's very punishing if we don't play it tapped and then we don't draw lands. If we do draw lands, I mean, we can spend our mana. We'd have to draw lands, like, forever to, like, really regret that. No real decisions. Of course, the Geyser Mage has a powerful late-game ability. The Sky Dancer doesn't. I would play the Geyser Mage here if I didn't have Sky Dancer in hand, but since I do, of course, it's not really that much of a choice. Do we want to hold the Construct? No, we just want to get that out. Because if they have removal, they can kill Highborn or Skitter Sneak, but they can't really kill the Construct. And a 4/4 looks like a pretty good attacker against a black-white Clerics deck here on turn 4. Thank you, Mr. Locke. Appreciate the subscription. Appreciate all 22 months of subscription. Thank you for supporting my stream basically the whole time I've been streaming. Okay, I'm not scared of removal or tricks. I'm not particularly attached to any of my creatures. So this just seems like an easy attack and see what they have. They can trade or they can practice tactics something or whatever. Who really cares? And then post-combat, I'm probably going to play Highborn. If the Blight Priest is not in play, I'm probably going to play Skitter Sneak if it is. Well, if it is as a 3-2. Now that it's a 4-3, it's going to trade with either one. They're at 3 cards in their yard. So I guess I'll play the 4-3. The Skitter Sneak in the late game is a lot better than the Highborn, I think. I think this is a plus EV trade for me. My creature has no text, really, and theirs does. Yeah, I know. Subtle Strike was a blowout there. I mean, I could have played the Rogue pre-combat, maybe, to play around Subtle Strike a little bit. This game did not go exactly as I would have liked. Not that we're in that bad a shape, but... I had a really good hand, and this game is tight now. Well, that's easy enough. Clearly, we're going to keep Living Tempest, the card we can play right now. Hopefully their last card is nothing. If we get a free kill on the Attended Healer, we might be right back in this. Oh, come on. Some people just have it all. Oh, no decisions now. We're not winning the race. Alright, so I could Deadly Alliance the Healer, but there's no real reason to do that now. I can't start attacking. We're not winning the race, so I think we just chill. Yeah, but I want them to activate Lifelink and attack, because then I'll kill the healer before they get the 1/1. They'll get life, but they'll be burying another creature, right? Like, that would be good for me. I'm going to hold 2 lands to protect me from Mind Drain. I will, I'll play another land if I draw one more. That doesn't change anything at the moment, right? Like, it's bad, it's a good card, but there's no reason for me to kill something in response. So now I pretty clearly want to kill a healer, right? Can't let them make too big of a swarm. Yeah, they have a nice stack, no question. Hey, that's a good draw. Hopefully they'll brick this turn. And then I can dump out some stuff and get back in this. If they kill the sneak, I'm dead. But if they don't have any tricks or removal, I mean, they can alpha, but they're not killing me, and then I can play 2 more things. So do I kill Blight Priest or Healer? Think Blight Priest. Saves more damage. Okay, so I can either put out 2 blockers or Zoff. If I put out 2 blockers against, what, 5 attackers, even if they have removal, I'm not dead. And I can just Zoff next turn, so that's probably better. If they have something that pumps their team, I'm not winning anyway. And if I Zoff, I don't stay at a Zoff range. So I think I just play Rogue, and then maybe they'll alpha. And if not, I'll Zoff next turn. I can't do anything about that. Zoff doesn't even play around their Zoff. I would still be dead. They'd put me to 4 and then attack with 5 creatures into 1, and I'd be dead. You're welcome. Thanks for supporting it, Sean MC. Appreciate it. Alright, so let's see. We're at an 8, because we're going to play Zoff over Pack Beast, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we're attacking with either of these 2 ground creatures. I mean, we could attack with one of them. I mean, it is a lot of damage. Like, if they want to block the Black Bloom, they have to lose 3 of their 1/1s or 4 of them on the Skitter Sneak. They're both Menace. Can I afford to attack with one of those? if I'm Zoffing, then I just have one creature back. I'm at 8. Yeah, that seems a little ambitious. I mean, what if I attack with all 3? They go to 5? No, so they're still not dead. Yeah, this just seems like hit with Skydancer and Zoff, right? Brick, draw lands. This is such a tight game. You had it all. Remember when you mind drained 2 of my spells and then had Deadly Alliance, last card in your hand to kill my Living Tempest? Now you draw lands. Sorry about that, Janice. If their hand is lands, I'm cool. Like, if they alpha, I eat the Attended and the Celebrant and take 5, like, I'm cool. They have 5 creatures to my 4, and I'm at 3. If they have a single removal, I'm pretty much dead. I mean, they could add, like, a random creature to the board. They'll gain a life, they'll get a 1/1 token and the creature, but, I mean, I'm not going to be dead on board. But if they have a single removal, it's literally right-click concede time. But if they have nothing, like, I don't think the alpha works. I mean, unless they have Zoff or whatever, but they'll put me to 3, but I'll still be in good shape. Plus, I could just attack back for lethal, so they can't do it. Okay, so now they're considerably lower, so can we attack? I'm not assuming they have any removal. I mean, they could have something like a Skydancer if they just drew that. I'm going to play Pack Beast. I mean, I would gladly trade, like, either of these creatures for, like, 3 or 4 1/1s. So I could attack with, like, Black Bloom and Skydancer. And then let's say I play Pack Beast. If they go into turn Skydancer, they get a 1/1. So I take 2 of them at 6 from the flyer because I have no flyers. And then they have 8 creatures to my 1/2. So it's exactly lethal. The thing is, if they have nothing, like, attacking with more things is good. These both have Menace. Like, they have to, like, double block one and not die to it. And then they'd have to triple block to not be chumping. But I need a blocker back for the Celebrant, but I don't know. I can't play around removal. Like, if they had removal, they'd have used it in attack. The only question is if they have, like, a Skydancer or something. But I think playing around exactly Skydancer is kind of silly. I think I attack with these 2. If they have Skydancer, this could cost me the game, but it was going to be hard to beat that anyway. And if they have nothing, like, this is, like, definitely the right attack. I'm so happy to trade Skittersnake for 4 1/1s. I guess it's just 3, but... I mean, maybe the Black Bloom would have been better. No, they would just block with 3 1/1s, which it's the same, but... So it's just, do I want to have the 4/4 Menace or the 5/3 Menace, which I don't even know the answer to. Okay, so now I'm definitely going to send the Skydancer. What happens if I send the Rogue? If they want to kill it, they have to put either Celebrant or Healer on it. So I can trade with Celebrant. They'll give it lifelink. They'll end up with 2 1/1s and Healer versus my Pack Beast and my Skydancer. Doesn't seem worth it. I think maybe I should have sent the Rogue last turn instead of the Skydancer. We're both just drawing, like, all lands now. What a strange game. So that's a pretty good one. I can bounce a token. Does that change much? Then if I attack with the Rogue, yes, if they want to kill it, they have to lose the Attended Healer. I mean, they can block with the Attended Healer and the Celebrant. What if I bounce the Celebrant? They have to block the Black Bloom Rogue this turn. So then they can either lose the Healer in a 1/1 or, like, double chump with 2 1/1s. I mean, they'll get to regain a life and get another 1/1 on their turn if they double chump. I mean, I want to play the Geyser Mage. So my options are I can bounce, like, Healer, in which case they give lifelink to the Celebrant, and then they won't get a 1/1 when they trade Celebrant and a 1/1 for the Rogue, so that has some potential. Or they can double block, and then when they play Healer, they'll get another 1/1 because of Celebrant. I can bounce a 1/1 and then it's just gone, and then I can attack. If they want to, then they have to double block the Rogue, and I trade it for Attended Healer, which is pretty good. I think I just bounce a 1/1, right? Because if I get to trade the Rogue for either Healer or Celebrant, I'm pretty happy. Plus the 1/1. Well, not plus the 1/1 if they double block, then I get the choice, but... If I bounce the Celebrant, they just like double chump. I don't kill Celebrant or Healer. I think the right play is bounce a 1/1 because that forces them to lose either the Celebrant or the Healer. Because this has Menace. So now if they block it, they have to lose either Healer or Celebrant. Well, assuming they don't have Subtle Strike. If they had Subtle Strike, there's no way they'd be taking to a turn. So the only way they have Subtle Strike is if they just top decked it this turn. But I want to make them lose their combo creatures. Even though this looks like a trade down, who cares about the core Celebrant? If I kill this Attended Healer, I'm very happy, right? It's a good draw. Rogue, Wizard, Cleric, Warrior. Oh, it's a good draw for them, too. They're getting their Attended Healer back. The plot is always thickening. They don't have anything better than Attended Healer, do they? I mean, Blight Priest, but they're not making 1/1s. It'll drain me for, like, 1. I'm still at 8. I assumed it was just Snap Get the Healer. Oh, seems like no decisions. Ground attack can't possibly be profitable. There's no way after the Blood Priest drain I'm going to need, like, more life to not die. And I'm not going to want to block with Skydancer, so... Pretty epic game. I have another Blood Priest. Oh, it's already dead. Ow, they drew a Blight Priest? Yuck. This is a sick game. What? There's no way I had lethal. How could I have had lethal? They would just block my creatures. They had more ground creatures than I did ground attackers. Thanks, mid laner. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have done it before combat in case they had Skydancer. You're right. I mean, we knew they drew Null Priest there, so I really doubt they can have Skydancer or Practice Tactics, because they would have used them earlier, and that turn they drew Null Priest. They drew Adept and a Null Priest, but I mean... What you said isn't theoretically wrong. Alright, so let's see. I really want to kill this Null Priest. So, I'm taking one from Blight Priest here, because of the lifelink. So I'm effectively at 9. Probably losing now, unless I top deck something. Oh, yeah. I don't have a second Blood. I do have 2 Blood Priests, but it's already dead. But yeah, it would be lethal. The only way I can double block this profitably is if I put the 3/2 and the 2/1 on it. I don't think that's a play I can make. But I guess, like, I'm not going to have a profitable block on the Adept anyway. This is bad. They drew a little too much here right at the end. It's funny. We both drew lands for so many turns. This was a good game. What are my best draws? Do I have outs? I mean, I'm not getting it on the ground. They're going to be at, like, 7 back to 5. Yeah, but I don't have any outs, right? It's not like if Zoff number 2 is in play. It's not like if I attack on the ground next turn, like if I take it and swing back, I can win. Like if I draw removal, they still are going to have 4 blockers to my 3 ground attackers. I don't even think I have outs. Soaring Thought Thief, yeah, that's a decent draw, but... I think the 2/1s are pretty useless. So I think I want to do this. Not sure if this even leaves me out, but I don't know. I have to draw something good. The 3/2 is actually a kind of effective blocker. That's definitely not good. Alright, I'm dead. That was a good fight. I probably punted. I don't necessarily think I did anything stupid, but These are the kind of games when somebody goes like, what makes, LSV or PB better than you? This game. They probably would have won. I don't really know what I did wrong. I don't even know if I did anything wrong or not, but it just felt like it was within my grasp. Thank you, El Covito. Appreciate the 10 months of support. Yeah, I think it was right to attack. If I send the 5-3, maybe they can't block profitably with the Celebrate, because then I can trade with that in a 1-1. So they have to just trade off 3 1-1s. Maybe I should have sent the 5-3 instead of the 4-4 that first turn. That might have made the difference. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they had a better deck. I'm not saying I played badly. I'm just wondering if I lost by so little. I'm wondering if I punted anything. I don't really know the answer. I'm just saying. Janker with the Jankid play. You got to respect that. On the draw, if I drew a land turn 1, I would not have played the Rogue. If I drew a spell turn 1, I would have played the Rogue. I get the one more card. So, if it was a land, I would not play the Rogue. Think Skitter Sneak's unlikely to connect before it has Menace, because they have the 0-5. So I think I just want a Predation here. Play Skitter Sneak next turn. Looks like a pretty easy Tempest. They don't even have any kicker cards in hand. I'm sure they have some in their deck, but 3/3 Flyer's pretty annoying for me, and second Riptide isn't really doing much at the moment. I would have took Verazol, of course, but it's technically a 2-mana spell, so you can't Predation it. This is pretty scary if they draw any kicker. Well, no real choices for me, I don't think. Oh, wait, sorry. I don't have 2 blue. I thought I was going to field research and Soaring Thought Thief. So they're on 3 in the yard, so Thought Thief makes it 5. I could still field research and just see if I draw an island. I mean, I don't really want to miss damage. Skitter Sneak isn't really attacking or blocking yet, so there's more value in casting Thought Thief. I'm a blue away from kicking field research, but I should have enough to do otherwise. I think it's still field research. Punished for my greed. Only a little bit, though. The Skulker's actually a reasonable add to the board right now, because if they do draw a kicker spell, I would take 1,000. And if they want to interact with the Skulker, okay, at least they're not interacting with the Sky Dancer. That's funny, Burke Y. Burke YYY. Yeah, I think field research was right, because it's not that devastating if I don't put the Thought Thief out. I'm missing a mill for 2. I need a second blue to kick the research anyway, and I have lots of black 2-drops in addition to lots of islands, so I think I like field research there. Even though I didn't get there, I feel pretty good about that line. So I think now it's closer. Think I'm going to Soaring Thought Thief. Even though it's not the mana-efficient line, I don't want to keep missing mills for 2. I want to turn this on as quick as possible, right? They're now at 5 in their yard. Yeah, I mean, if they have a kicker card, they can interact with one of my cards, and then it's going to be a pretty massive attack. See what they want to do. But again, they don't have an endless barrage of kicker cards, so I don't have to deal with the Riptides. That said, killing one with Skulker is probably better than draining for 2 here. But I actually think I'm going to do either. I think I'm just going to put Skulker in front of a Riptide and not Malik or Rebirth, because I want to save these Flyers. I want to win the fight in the air, right? I can always throw chumps on the 5/5 later. I think if I just trade with one Riptide, I don't even think I want a Malika Rebirth here. This is my second. There will be one more draft today after this. Glad I didn't have the construct out for them to potentially steal. I know they would have needed one more land. All right, so they have 6. So the Soaring Thought Thief's going to be on. So I think I can just attack with both. And then, whichever, if they want to kill the Thought Thief, they have to double block it and they'll lose both, and I'll rebirth it. If they trade with the Sky Dancer, probably just let that happen. Maybe I rebirth it. It is a 3/1 flyer. Nah, it'll just trade with their 2/1. Who cares? Just let that happen. I don't think this targets, does it? Angel target artifact. Oh, yeah, it does. So, yeah, I would have just sacked. They couldn't steal it. You're right. Yeah, it would be reasonable to attack with just Thought Thief, but yeah, I don't think that's a bad trade for me. Like, it denies them the ability to double block Thought Thief later. So if they double block Sneak and I play Rebirth, am I killing 2 things or 1? Just 1, because they're going to put Riptide on it, so there's no point in that. So let's just cast our cards. Oh, it only sacks from spells, not abilities, right. So it wouldn't sack, they would steal it. Because this comes into play, and then the ability targets it. It doesn't target it as a spell. It targets it when it comes into play. I would kill 2 creatures if what? I chose to put out an extra creature rather than have Rebirth up. I mean, it's close. I don't need to Rebirth any of these 4. They're not holding removal. They would have used it last turn. I mean, they could top deck exactly Rabid Bite. Rebirth doesn't really save you from Bubble Snare anyway. If I was playing against like a red-black deck, I would obviously keep Rebirth up to protect Thought Thief. But, like, they have a lot of attackers. And if they, like, Bubble Snare or something, I think I need the extra body in play. Keeping Rebirth up is really only protecting me from, like, exactly top deck Rabid Bite or something like that. Can I kick it? No, I cannot. But I'll still put it out. Yuck. Another good game. I mean, I have Zoth. They're both in my deck this time. Both Blood Priests are in play, but both Zoths are in my deck. Let's see how I do an alpha. They have 7 blockers for effectively 6 attackers since this has Menace. I only need a single creature to get through, and then if either Blood Priest is dying, I can Rebirth it for the win. But I don't think there's any alpha that lethals them now. I do want to not miss too many mill 2s. I could potentially deck them. Skulker will trade with something, so I mean, next turn the plan is to send just Skulker. Take the 1-for-1 trade and mill 2. And then I guess do I Rebirth it? I don't think so. I think Rebirth is more valuable on the Blood Priest. I didn't have mana to kick it. It's 7, right? Yeah, I would have had to hold it to kick it. Also doesn't do anything. They have no non-basics. Huh? If you're talking about the Geyser Mage, I would have needed another island. I guess I could have waited and saved this, but like the board is tense. Y'all are making it like they should have kicked the Bubble Snare if they wanted to copy it. My creature was already tapped, but that would just turn this into a 1/1, and then they'd be putting a Bubble Snare on some untapped creature. I don't think either me or the opponent made mistakes. Oh, I could rebirth the Myriad Construct for 4/1/1s. You're right. And then I could swarm them. That's a potential play. Alright, well, either way, I don't mind trading Skulker in even trade. I don't need it back to block. So I'm going to attack to get the mill, too. But I didn't even think about rebirthing my Construct just to make 4/1/1s. Like, if they do some sort of a swarm, then I can do that for the win. It's not enough right now. I mean, it's not. That's not dealing more damage than rebirthing a Blood Priest, even. But if they make a ground attack, then I can possibly make that play. Yes, it sacks before the rebirth resolves. Like, if they make a big ground attack, I might be able to do that and get in lethal that way. Right now, I can't just do it and then swarm them. I would have, like, a bunch of 1/1s, 4/1/1s, 6/8 creatures to their, like, 6 or something. It would never be lethal right now. But if they make a big ground attack, it's definitely an option. They're on 9 cards. Remember, the Thought Thief isn't dead just because it's snared. So, this is an interesting game. Ouch. Oh, they're going to copy that for lethal. Yuck. Wow, I just keep losing all of the closest games. Just not meant to be. I mean, these are good games. You don't lose the 2 if you target the 4/4, right? The spell gets countered. The 1/1 would get sacked. Yeah, if I would have rebirthed the 2/1 flyer, I would have won that game, probably. It's crazy. I don't think it was right. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, but... If I would have rebirthed the Skulker but died, that wouldn't have won me that game. The Skulker wouldn't have changed anything. If I would have rebirthed the 2/1 flyer, then I would have saved all that life, and then I might have won. I mean, I might not have won. It would basically have been the same game, because they would just have traded Skydiver for the 2/1 flyer that I rebirthed, so I would just be plus 10 life or whatever. So I wouldn't have died there, I don't think, but they would just keep going. And then I'd probably deck them. Yeah, that was an awesome game. What's the details, Skits? The Blood Priest, I had out, like, Rogue, Wizard, and Cleric, right? So if I could get in 2 points, then I could kill them with the, if the Blood Priest was dying, right? Oh, yeah, well, I can't let myself go to 2 first, but I was at 9 on that last turn. So, I mean, aside from, the Might, I wasn't anywhere near 2 yet. Sure, I mean, I know that I can't be at 2 when I cast Malak or Rebirth, but I was figuring I would, like, Rebirth the Blood Priest before I would go to 2. Oh, wow. This is going to be a quick 0-3 with a really nice blue-black deck, huh? Verizol isn't even the problem here. It's Roost. Double Roost. This is brutal. Can you do? Oh yeah, Roost is a joke. I mean, I'm gonna hopefully Geyser Mage a token and get a good attack at some point. I don't know. I assume they're gonna have kicker cards, so I'm just gonna go ahead and block. I did not cheat an undo inversion in my deck. Stipulation to not play Dimir. This is bad. Geyser, I'm choosing the Field Research over the Geyser Mage. I mean, I could Geyser Mage first to like buy a little more time, but this game's probably just gonna get out of hand. Kind of want to give myself better options. I don't think I could really win if they have Cunning Geyser Mage or Into the Royal or Bubble Snare or anything. But if they just cast cards, maybe I can start eating something with Living Tempest. I don't know. I mean, it's near impossible, but they're practically playing Constructed here. I'm playing that and then Living Tempest. I don't know if this can keep me alive or not, but 4-4 on 4-4, 3-4 and 2-1 on 4-4, 3-3 on 2-2. Take 8, 10, 11, maybe. Oh yeah, this was a joke. Verazol into Roost. This isn't limited. Constructed versus Construct, yeah. Oh, is that all? Did not expect to 0-3 with this one. This deck's good. I think this deck's better than the first and quite good overall. Good curve, good synergy, like some power cards. I would take this deck every draft. Lost 2 epic games, and then, I mean, this is just gross. Oh, I held my promise. You know, we fought for a little bit, but we tanked the Mythic rating like I promised we would. We're going to get into one more draft of the day after the 0-3 with a pretty nice-looking Blue-Black Rogues deck. This is a deck I get 7 wins with a lot, a deck like this. Skulkers and Blood Priest, and Soaring Thought Thief, and plenty of decent removal, and just overall a good deck. Hey, thanks, Peanut. Appreciate gifting out the 5 subs, trying to cheer me up after the 0-3. Really appreciate the generosity. Yeah, it was just bad luck. I mean, this is just a good deck. It's not like the best deck ever or anything, but 2 Zoffs, Deadly Alliance, Thought Thief, 3 Skulkers, 2 Blood Priest, Stinger, Black Bloom, 2 Geyser Mages, like Construct. Like, this is just a nice overall deck. Nothing special, but thank you for the generosity, Peanut. Very much appreciated. And let's get into the last draft. See if we can get some more wins. Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's like one of the best decks I've had in the format or anything. It's just a, you know, just a standard nice deck. Yeah, I mean, 2 of the games we lost were so close at Epic, and then we lost to Double Roost. Verazol Roost. Thanks, Hermit. Appreciate the generous 200 bits. But one more draft today. Let's see if we can get the rally caps on. Well, that's a good start. That's one of the best starts in the format, so there's that. I'm not going to go into detail on this pick because Felidar Retreat is S tier, totally broken. It's single white, it's splashable, it's good in every type of white deck. It's great if you're landfall because then you have stuff to pick up lands and stuff, but you don't need to be. If you're white-black clerics or white-red aggro or whatever, this card is just busted in every single deck. If it wasn't in the pack, I'd probably take Vine Gecko. It's not really a green-blue gold card. Obviously, Vine Gecko's best in green-blue. But you can prioritize kicker the whole way, and green has the most kicker outside of blue, and then, like, you know, other colors still have a little bit of kicker. So I think Vine Gecko would be my second choice out of that pack, and Felidar Retreat a clear number 1. Alright, so now I don't know what to take. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Retreat in blue-white, like I said. Coral Helm Chronicler is not as good in blue-white as it is in blue-green. But we can prioritize Kicker the whole way, and we could still play blue-green and just splash Retreat. It's single-white, super easy to splash into a blue-green deck. White-red aggro, Coon Warrior's good. I don't really want to take Moss Pit. Yes, we can splash this into a black-green deck as well, but this is a gold card, and it's different than this card. Yeah, counters and Felidar do have synergy. But I thought this was a no Abzan stream. I thought we agreed on not playing Abzan today. I mean, I could just take Pack Beast. It's a little underpowered compared to Chronicler and, like, Warrior and Skeleton, but, I mean, white does do party pretty well. It is good in every white deck. Yeah, I mean, Pack Beast is okay. I kind of think Coralhelm Chronicler is the pick, though. White-blue is like an aggro creature deck, and we can always prioritize all the blue kicker cards. And if we go blue-green, Retreat is the easiest and best to splash in that deck. Blue-green is a mana-hungry ramp deck, and you want Reclaim the Waste and Roiling Regrowths. So, like, we can still go blue-green kicker and just play Retreat and have it be just as good in blue-green kicker as in any white deck. And we can always prioritize the blue kicker cards now. So what do we want to do? I mean, if we're looking at blue-white party, we've got a wizard. There's nothing exciting in this pack, but there's not like there's exciting in other decks either. I mean, Hazard and Skulker are a little better than the white cards, but I mean, Felidar Retreat, you do play. Obviously, like, we can either play white or green to play Felidar Retreat. I'm not really dying to go, like, Skulker or something, though, or Spikefield Hazard. I mean, it's not like those are great cards. They're just fine. Guess Kabira Outrider, if we're going to do blue-white party, likely, is a good pickup. Okay, we got to prioritize kicker the whole way if our second color's not going to be green. Now, I'm still totally open to blue-green. Again, remember, Felidar Retreat is almost at its best in a blue-green deck. It's single white, which is probably a mistake, but it is. So, you know, you're totally happy to play blue-green kicker with Reclaim the Waste and Ramp and a lot of lands and play Felidar Retreat. Okay, so this just looks like a pretty easy Veil, I guess. No, actually, if we're blue-white party aggro, Stalker is probably better than Veil. Stalker is excellent in blue-white party. This looks like it's a blue-black rogue card, but it's really a blue-white party aggro card. And we have a wizard, we have a warrior. I think Stalker actually makes the most sense. Similarly, Practice Tactics is excellent in blue-white party. And, I mean, the green cards are not good enough to make us go into green. Squid is fine, but it's not a party type. Yeah, it does seem like blue-black is open, but like I said, Felidar Retreat you do want to play. It is S-tier true broken. Now, you can play green anything and splash it, but given blue is the color we have the best of and have seen the most of, I think we want to stick to blue-white. Shell Shield and Duelist, both totally fine here. How are we on rogues? Think I'd rather get the Shell Shield. We have some decent creatures to protect, and again, every kicker card matters a lot because we have Coralhelm Chronicler. We're going to want some of these Cell Swords, but they're a dime a dozen, along with the Seagate Bannerets. Let's just take Practice Tactics. It's good removal in blue-white party. I know at this point it's not what we need, but we have the whole rest of the draft to grab little white warriors. I don't know. We're not going to play any of these. This is draft number 3. This will be my last draft today, but barring unexpected calamities, I'll be right back on tomorrow afternoon with 3 more drafts. I'm never going to play Spare Supplies in this deck. I guess red-blue is not out of the question. I mean, we're only committed to blue, but we also have Felidar Retreat. But, I mean, we have a lot of kicker already. Like, what is that? 1, 2, 3 after pack 1? So we'll just keep trying to prioritize. No, I've never played Base Camp. That card should come into play untapped. It's abysmal that that card comes into play tapped. But, I mean, look, this is a 3-mana 2/2 wizard with a lot of upside. We'll just keep prioritizing kicker cards if it's close. Not over broken stuff, obviously. Why do you do this to me? Why? Why? Why do you do this to me? And clearly we were seeing black. I passed a late Vanquish. There was a Skulker late. There's other black cards. I know we're not seeing white. I mean, blue-black, it's hard to splash in. I mean, there's like no fixers. For blue-white, I'm taking a Geyser Mage, which is not horrible. It's a creature deck, and it's a kicker card. It fits everything we want. I'm not happy. I have no idea what I'm doing. What format am I playing? You take cards out of packs? How do you build a deck like this? Aren't you supposed to build your deck so that it works together at home and then bring it with you? You just open new packs and take cards out of them? What is going on here? I don't want any of these. How's Relic Amulet? I have spells and wizards. I don't want Blight Priest. I'm not going to be party if I'm blue-black, really. My party stuff is going to be white. I guess I can still play blue-white splash black. And Relic Amulet could get there. I have a lot of wizards and spells. So now, of course, we're not going to see black this pack. Stampede is pretty good. It's a nice land spell modal. Relic Vial is decent, but, I mean, we don't have any clerics yet. I think this is a Stampede. Just going to try and splash Zareth. I don't know if I'll end up splashing it or not, but I'm going to try and pick up fixers if I see them. The Cascade lands or things like that. Not well today, Sean. Not well. How about you? We're getting pummeled today. The opposite of yesterday. That's how it's going. I am drafting Kicker pretty aggressively, so I could take Riptide. Could also take Vanquish. I can't splash the Cleric of Lifespawn. I'm not going to be black-white. Blue is my main color. I can do black-blue. Splash the white for the Felidar. I think if we're going to end up black-blue splash white, most likely, we need to prioritize these land spell modals. We're going to need all the extra colored mana sources we can get. Blue-red, that doesn't help me. But couldn't you be blue-white or white-black? Blue-black. Blue-white doesn't exist, right? So, I mean, I don't know if we're splashing black or white. Blue is our main color. Both black and white are splashable. I mean, we can play Retreat, or we can play Zareth. Yeah, Colossus looks good. We already have a million practice tactics. I don't need Farsight Adept, because if I go blue-white... Whoa! Soaring Thought Thief. Well, there's a late card. Wish I would have found the Rogues Pack 1 if I didn't open Felidar Retreat. If I would have opened Zareth Pack 1 instead of Felidar Retreat, I would have the greatest deck ever this draft. But okay, so it looks like we are going to end up blue-black. Rogues has got to be wide open here. So let's see. We're not going to splash that or that. Yeah, we're going to splash white for Felidar for sure. Just prioritize white land spell modals, blue and black land spell modals, and if we get lucky enough to see a Cascade land, that's great. Well, if we're going to splash white anyway, which we are, we could certainly splash for Spoils. If we don't take Spoils, we're getting what for a deck? Like a Vanquish? Spoils a lot better than Vanquish. So I guess Spoils it is. I mean, sort of Esper. I mean, I'll definitely cut all those practice tactics and Outrider and stuff like that. You know me, forcing blue-black. So Pack Beast is a fixer, but Seagate Restoration is a pretty decent land spell modal for a deck like this. We really need land spell modals just so we can have enough colored mana sources, because we want to play like 20 lands or whatever, but we can't get flooded every game. So I think we pretty much have to take this. Falconer and Pack Beast are close. Like, in power level, all those cards are close. But we really need to prioritize land spell modals, because you don't really get fixing in blue-white-black. And, like, and there's Zagreus. This is a weird draft. I didn't get that blue-red pathway land late, right? I could play base camp. So, I mean, I think we just take Bubble Snare, right? I gotta be sane. Like, we need kicker cards. You know, we have kicker synergy with the Chronicler. Bubble Snare's good on color removal. We already have Zareth and Felidar Retreat. Like, this just has to be Bubble Snare. Come on, y'all. Have a little discipline. Shadow Stinger looks good. Nice defensive power rogue. I mean, clearly blue-black rogues is what we're supposed to play in the seat. After the Felidar retreat, we saw no good white cards, and we didn't see green. So it was tough because when you open Felidar retreat, the way I view that is I want to be white or green. Because if I'm green anything, then you have the fixing and the ramp, and you can just splash it. And if I'm white, then obviously you don't have to splash it. But we're in a blue-black seat, so it was pretty tough for us. But, alright. I don't know. We're not going to play Negator Dreadworm or Sellsword on the splash. Could play Blood Pricer's Plunder. I don't really love those cards, but we don't actually have a single field research. And the Dig could actually be good for us in this deck, I think. To find our splash and stuff like that. Zareth might be the best. Ooh, that's a late Pack Beast. As much as I want the Vanquish, we're splashing white, and we're a little low. Not super low, but a little low on 2s. So I think this is Pack Beast over Vanquish by a lot. It's a fixer. Yeah, I mean, maybe Stampede, maybe a Plains. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not super sure either way on that. Right, these are not white cards we're going to splash, so I don't think these cards matter. This is just a medium playable. I already have a bunch of Cascade Seers if I want them, and I don't. I actually might play Spare Supplies in this deck now. Like, again, card drawing is better if you're splashing, so I might actually have to play that. Yeah, we're a little low on removal without the Practice Tactics, but what are you going to do? I mean, I could make black a splash and play blue-white, but, I mean, I'm just getting Practice Tactics. They're not very good. It's not like I've got a bunch of Nahiri's bindings. I have a lot of instant sorceries and some card drawing in Wizards, so Relic Amulet can function pretty well for us if we draw it early. Like, if you look at my deck, it's, like, almost all instant sorceries and Wizards. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Veil's a nice late pickup. I don't think I'm really trying to make party work, am I? I mean, I don't have any Parties Matters cards, really. I mean, Spoils, whatever. Yeah, it's blue-black kicker, splash, you know, Spoils, and Felidar Retreat. Oh, I might have to cut the Seagate if that's what you're saying. But I have Wizards and Rogues. I mean, Seagate is just a 5-mana 7/5, basically. So let's see. It's a deck that probably wants to play Deliberate. That's about it. We have 1 black land spell modal, 2 blue, and 1 white. So 9 blue looks good. It's our main color. We need more black than this. Not much more, but we need like at least 1 more. This puts us to 7 black, which is the minimum. But I think we can get away with that with Deliberate, Pack Beast, and Spare Supplies. And we're not that heavy in early black. So that's 15 lands, and that looks good. That with 4 land spell modals is 19. Plus we have some blue card drawing, so I think I like that. So then what are we cutting? We don't like have any clerics, but we have Wizards and Rogues. We don't have much in the way of Warriors either. I don't think we need a big closer like Seagate since we have the rares. When you have power cards like this, that's when you don't need something like Seagate. Plus we have like Spoils and Plunder. And then we got to cut like 1 more. Could cut Anti-Cognition, but it's decent in this deck. We have Into the Royal and Geyser Mage. We have some instants, Zareth, Vanquish, Spoils to leave up. I mean, we can cast Stampede off Pack Beast. Maybe it should just be a Plains. I mean, we want 3 white sources. Like, if I cut the Stampede, it's just for a Plains. It's obviously unlikely we're going to cast it, but we have Pack Beast, too. Yeah, Skitter Sneak is cuttable, for sure. I'd say the cuttables right now are, like, Anti-Cognition, Skitter Sneak, Cascade Seer. I mean, the Stampede for a Plains thing is doable, but, again, it's just going to be a Plains. Who cares? Yeah, but it's also a land, Squeed. Seagate is not just a land. There are a lot. You saw multiple late games where we were in top deck battles and close games, and this is like draw 2 in the late game. Is this a busted card? Of course not. But it's a tap land that also just draws 2 once you have 7 mana, or draws 3 once you have 7 mana. It's not busted, but it is a split card, like 7 mana, draw 2.5, or a land. Yeah, I think Seer is probably better than Sneak for the last card. What about the Stampede? Should the Stampede be a Plains, or should it be Stampede? Can't be both. It can be a tap Plains. Now, I want the spare supplies. I want the card drawing. Keep the Stampede, Rod of Hazard says. Alright. I'm going with Rod of Hazard. It's definitely really close. But, you know, like, I don't have any white cards. I can put the Stampede in, play tap first. I do have Pack Beast. Anytime there's Pack Beast out, I can tap 7 and play Stampede, or tap 6 and play Stampede, you know, with 1 Plains or no Plains. That could win a game. You never know. Broodweiser says you're never casting Stampede, and the correct response from Skits, not with that attitude. Yeah, Stampede could be a Plains. I'm honestly not sure on that one, y'all. Practice Tactics is great removal in like a heavy creature blue-white party deck, but that's not what this deck turned into. This is a really weird draft. The first and third drafts today were really strange. And then the second draft, I just ran horrible in the games, but the draft wasn't that hard and the deck was good. I mean, this deck's not bad because I have 2 of the top rares in the set, but obviously it's... I wasn't seeing white in the slightest. I was supposed to draft black-blue rogues, draft black pack 1. Oh yeah, what Baya Canary said for sure. This argument against Seagate is, like, just wrong, frankly. Like, I've talked about the concept a lot about the land spell modals that are expensive are better because they're a land in the early game, or spells when you no longer need lands. So, like, anytime Seagate's in your opening hand, you can just play it as a land. And then in the late game, the difference between drawing, like, a draw 2 or drawing a land can easily win you a close game. Like, if I already have 7 lands out, I'm holding a land in my hand or whatever, it's late game, and I draw Seagate, I draw 2 cards instead of drawing a land. That's way better. And there's no sacrifice made, because if it's in my opening hand, I can just play it as a land. Alright, so this game, we're going to want Black Bloom into Zareth, possibly, so let's start by playing the Veil, for sure. I completely agree with Buy a Canary. Not necessarily on buying a Canary, but definitely on the Mythic modals being almost all upside, and you should definitely play them. Is the white Mythic modal the best of them? Probably. It makes 2/4/4 Angels. Shatter Skull Smashing is pretty incredible, too. The green one, like, whatever. The blue one, whatever. Yeah. So the white and the red are the best 2, and then the black's in the middle, and then the green and the blue are the worst of the 2. But, like they're all good. Like, you should play all of them. Alright, no permanents to get yet. We could Zareth, but, I mean, we have a 3/3 to put in play anyway. If we had nothing to do, I might bring out the Zareth just for the extra damage, but I don't want to let them know it's coming. Our deck doesn't really kill creatures, so we're not the best at putting things in the yard for Zareth. But I have a 3/3 to add to the board anyway at this point. You can't get cards from your graveyard, right? Just the opponent's. Yeah, it only puts cards in from their graveyard. I wish I could get Relic Amulet. It gets permanents, so yes, but it would have to be in their yard. Okay, well, now I'm just going to attack with both. If they block the Cascade Seer, we pretty much win with our Busted Constructed card. because then we'll just bounce the Rogue for the Xerath, the Seer will trade with the Diviner, and then the Xerath will put the Seer back in play. They didn't do that, but if they had, it would have been awesome for us, and if they didn't, it was fine. If they wanted to trade Diviner for Rogue, that would still put a nice permanent in their yard, even though we wouldn't get to Xerath this turn. Felidar Retreat is why I played the white card. Oh, why I played it as a land? Because it's double white and I have no planes. So if I draw Spoils or Felidar Retreat, I want to be able to cast them, and I'm nowhere near casting Makinda Stampede. It's literally double white, not single white. Opponent just on full party here. I mean, we definitely have a game. I can Xerath them now, potentially, but this is kind of crazy. Alright, so what can I do? If I attack with Shadow Stinger and they like group block it, I'm trading with like a 1/1 token. That's not super useful. I need to force trades, and blocks aren't going to be good for me. So I feel like I want to just cast Pack Beast and then attack. I don't know if I can win, or I might win, I might lose. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on right now. This is a weird game. I need them to lose some real permanent so I can Xerath it. I'm not shocked by this block. That was the problem. But remember, these would all be indestructible on their turn, so I wasn't really going to have good blocks on their turn anyway. But they just have no permanents in their yard. So I guess if I think I just Xerath and put them to 6, assuming I'm not dying on the backswing. Pack Beast on Commander means I'm taking 1, 4, 5, and 3 of these. That's 8 plus 3 is 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it's not 16, so. Alright. I have to race, because remember, all their creatures are going to have indestructible because of the squad commander. Definitely just not my day. I have a good hand here with Xerath, but I mean, they have a turn 5, full party, like, good draw. I think that Outrider kills me. Because I was only living by a couple of points before, so not that I have any real choices. I'll just block the biggest ground creature. Limited power, indeed. I mean, that was more like unlimited power. It was like that time on Limited Resources when Marshall didn't show up and it was just me and Luis. Instead of being limited, it was unlimited. Nice draw, Evil Tool. Oh, no sweat. I like when people play against me. Obviously, yeah, kill the stream once we get paired, but you can watch me draft. You can know what's in my deck. If you snipe me, you get paired against me, that's great. Nice deck, nice draw, good game. I had a good draw, too. I didn't get screwed at all. I mean, the squad commander with 1,000,000 creatures in full party on turn 5, like, definitely busted me up. But my draw was totally fine that game. Tonight looks like it's a soak your wounds kind of night. Quick stream. Go eat a good meal. Go lay in a warm bathtub. Squad Commander's great. Alright, this hand is not great, but it's not as bad as it looks. Given how expensive this is, yeah, I'm just going to play it tap turn 1. It's in my opener. But remember, when you draw this on turn 8, it's a lot better than a land. And right now, it was the exact same thing as an island. Then we can spare supplies and see how the hand fleshes out after that. Hey, I'm thankful to be drafting Zendikar. If it was an awful limited format, I might be bored of it by now. But since it's a great limited format, 3 months in, I'm still happy to be drafting it. I'm glad some people still appreciate that, though, Gerbeer Pig. I love Zendikar. And I don't love Cube. Alright, no swamps. We could sack the spare supply, or we could play like Geyser Mage. Both their creatures fly, so we're not helping stop the beats by playing the Geyser Mage. I guess I just want to crack spare supplies, because I'm looking for a plains or a swamp. Yeah, I mean, I'll settle for Kaldheim just being good. It doesn't have to be as good as Zendikar. Zendikar's excellent. It's not excellent today, but most days it's excellent. Planes off the top? I wouldn't mind. Alright. We don't have to cast Retreat this turn since we, By the way, I'm not the only one who's Psychic. Rada Hazard's Psychic as well, just for the record. We don't have to cast Retreat this turn, because casting it next turn is the same thing. We could cast it this turn if we'd rather use 4, but now that we know we can pump all our creatures, I think we want to just play, like, Royal Mage and Stinger. Actually, maybe not. Veil, buy back Veil with Royal Mage could be really good for us. So, I think, what do we want to do? Maybe play Stinger and, like, maybe we play Plains and Stinger and just Veil their attack. And then we can play Felidar Retreat and, like, a land. I might as well attack with the 3-4 then. The Stinger's going to kill the Blood Priest, and Veil's going to fog the rest of the attack. And if they have removal, I'm fogging this turn anyway. So, if I'm going to play Stinger, I should attack with the Skitter Snake. I guess if they double block it isn't great for me, but it's not horrible anyway. I trade for the Stalker, and I highly doubt they're going to do that. They'd be pretty scared of me having anything. So I need to put the Plains in play so that next turn I can play Felidar Retreat before I play a land and then play a land afterwards. So I must play the Plains this turn. But I have no incentive to play the Retreat, really. Aside from getting, like, Predation out of my hand or something random. I'm glad I could teach you my psychic powers, Rada Hazard. And that's actually not, like, horrible. I'm going to Veil and Fog the turn. The next turn isn't going to be great, though. I mean, I could Geyser Mage, but then I have to play a land. That's the problem. I don't really want to play a land before playing the Retreat. But if I play what? Retreat, play a land, make it like a 2-2. I mean, they only have 2 power flyers. The Stalker can go unblockable, but for 3 mana. I'm not sure what my best line is this turn. Probably Felidar make a 2-2, but I'm definitely not sure. I do need to get the Felidar out. I can't just keep playing lands without playing the Felidar. And I could trade the 2-2 for the Blood Priest. And then I have Geyser Mage and then Royal Mage for Veil. Yeah, it's just an ugly turn. But I think Felidar make a 2-2 is the turn. But it is a pretty ugly turn. Can I even... I can't even attack with the Sneak, right? Because I don't really want to trade the 2-2. Because it can grow. So I want to hold the Sneak back. If they, like, get in with the Stalker, okay, I'm not that close to dead. Next turn, I can play a land. Next turn, I can go Kicker, Geyser Mage, bounce Stalker. Then I can play a land, pump all of these, and give them Vigilance and attack with them if they have decent attacks. And then if I draw a land and 2 cards, the turn after, I can go land, Royal Mage, Veil, and then that's... Hopefully from there, I'm swinging the game. Oh, hopefully I get a chance to play against you, Jilliam Habel. You're more than welcome to snipe me. Just shut it off if you successfully get paired against me, but if you see me entering the queue, you can enter the queue then as well and try and get paired against me. Pro tip, do it when we have a similar record in a draft. That's not that common. If you do it like round 1, there's a lot of 0-0 players, so the pairing algorithm, we're not that likely to play against each other. But if you do it like, when I'm 4-1 and you're 4-1, I imagine we have a pretty high chance to get paired. So ideally, we're what? Cunning Geyser Mage and Bubble Snare this turn? don't want to bounce the Gloom Hunter because then they can play it untapped. So I probably bounce the Stalker, and then I Bubble Snare the Gloom Hunter. So this turn looks like Geyser remains a Stalker, play the island, give my 3 creatures +1/+1 in Vigilance, attack, and then post-combat I can Snare. And now that we're getting 3 counters by pumping, we definitely want to pump, because it also gives us Vigilance, which means we can attack with the 2 ground creatures. Hey, Dangle. Hey, thanks for the compliment, Wizard. That's high praise. That's not great, not horrible, right? I mean, if they want, they still can't kill it. They're just saving damage. They've got Rogues and Clerics. Stalker's going to be 3 to use. I think we pretty clearly want to lock down the Gloom Hunter. Hopefully we draw land next turn. If not, we can Royal Mage the Veil and then play it, but then we don't have the ability to Veil. So ideally we just draw land and then we kick Royal Mage, and then we play land, pump all 4 creatures, and then we still have Veil up. We can Royal Mage back Veil, remember, so we can play it as a land if we don't need to Veil to stay alive. It's going to be tight. If they can double pump the Stalker... No, that's not 6 next turn. No, that is 6. So if they can double pump the Stalker, they kill us. So that means Rogues and Clerics, so they have to be able to block only one the Duelist, which they can do. So we die to a land if I don't have Veil available. What is that thing? Alright, so we got, like, the worst draw. We didn't draw a land or a card that interacts. So I'm not sure what to do now. Could play Seer. What can I get back? Do I have any relevant 1-mana cards? Shell Shield? No, that's not relevant. Plus Opus 3 isn't going to help us. So I can just get back Veil, play it, pump my team, and attack. We die if they draw a land. Or I can play Seer. They don't have any ways to mill on... No, they're going to mill with the Wind Robber. I can't fix a draw step no matter what. Yeah. I think we just want to pressure them. I mean, this isn't great now. We really needed to draw a land this turn. This is going to be my worst record, like, of all time today. 3-3, 0-3, and we're about to be 0-2 if we lose this game. Hey, look, I did promise that we would tank the Mythic rating, right? Everyone knows, like, I've got my strengths and weaknesses, but I'm an honest man. Yeah, but Skycleave, it might grow and live, but it doesn't deal damage as a bigger creature. None of my creatures have First Strike. So, like, yeah, they can, if they know how it works, they can put Skycleave on, like, a 5-4 and take 4, and then the Skycleave will grow to a 7-7 and live. But it doesn't deal 7 to my creatures or anything like that. So land double pump Stalker kills us, but if they don't have it, they can't sack Wind Robber to try and find a land, because then they'd be a point short anyway. So then we get another draw step. I mean, a land might keep us in this game. We can attack with everything. They might be forced to block with the Stalker. Our creatures are getting pretty big thanks to Felidar. And if we don't draw a land, we draw a spell, so... Obviously, if we draw like a random little creature, that might not... Ooh, that looks bad. Well, I mean, it was going to be bad either way, but... Probably better they copy the 12-12 than Blood Priest. See what we draw. And if I draw removal for Stalker, I don't know. If we draw land, I can have 5 creatures, but now they have 2 bigger than all of ours. Oh, wow, they have another drop too? Okay, this was bad. Well, if we could draw anything, it was going to be Plunder. Because I think we need more than 1 card. So we have... Wizards and Rogue. So Spoils would... I guess I have to see what's left in the deck since they've milled us so much. So we do have Spoils left. But that's going to cost too much mana, I think. So I guess I don't need a white up if I can't cast spoils. I mean, I can play land spoils for 4. Actually, that might keep us alive, so I guess I do want to leave a white up. So I think I'll just leave a blue, black, and white. Because if I do go land and then spoils for 4, then we don't die to Stalker and Wind Robbers this turn. Okay, well, Vanquish kind of accomplishes the same thing. I mean, obviously it's worse, but... So we get to draw 3 of these now. We definitely need a land. We don't need 4 instead of 3. So we can take, like... What? I guess Relic Amulet's going on the bottom. I mean, I guess this doesn't matter a ton. I guess we're going to take Vanquish and, like, 2 lands. And then, we have to Vanquish Stalker, but we can wait for them to try and pump it and then do it on their turn. Can't play a creature. Counters have got to be better, right? Well, not have to be, because they have the 12/12s. I might want to have an extra 2/2 now, actually. Because I'm not attacking. So yeah, let's just create a 2/2. And then I don't have to Vanquish now. If they attack with Stalker, I can block it. If they activate, I can Vanquish in response. They can only have 1 activation in response. They might draw a 5 or 6 mana card they want to cast, so we might as well make them cast it, right? Oh, wait, no! If they draw a land, I'm dead now. I forgot they added a new type, Wizard. Now they have Wizards, Clerics, and Rogues, so if they play a land, I'm dead. Luckily they didn't, so now I can still Vanquish it in response. Whew. Last time it was 3 to pump it, but now it's only 2 to pump it. So if they had played an untapped land, they could pump, and then if I tried to Vanquish in response, they could double pump and kill me. Yeah, I thought they could only have 2 total pumps, because it was 3 to pump last turn, but they added a Wizard when nobody was looking here. If they had 2 pumps available, I could kill it, because they have to pump first. Because if they attack with Stalker and don't pump, I'll just block it, right? So they would have to tap 3 and pump, and then I could respond with Vanquish. If they had played land 6, which they probably didn't draw, but if they had played land 6, then they could have had 3 pumps available. So my Vanquish line is right against 2 pumps, but it's bad against 3 pumps. Alright, so what are we doing now? Because we're not in the clear when we're losing. We can Zareth, get back, like, Duelist or Stalker. That doesn't super help us. So am I still just dead to the Flyers now? I can't cast Stampede. I might just be dead. I mean, there's a chance... Well, if they don't block a Rogue, they're going to take less, not more, if I bring in Zareth. I don't have any small Rogues. I mean, the Stalker's gone. Is there any way I can live? Yes. If the Blood Priest dies, no, I can't get it. It would have to die before the Zareth, like, would connect. Should have took the Amulet to zap the Flyers. You're right. I punted this. Why am I so bad at Magic? And I roped out, but yeah, no, I needed to. Yeah, I should have took the Amulet. Well, I guess I could play Amulet, Seer, and ping a Flyer, and I wouldn't be dead. And then maybe I could win this game. Yeah. Fine punt by me. I'm playing so bad. I'm actually not. I'm losing super close games to super small plays, but I think these were... I'm actually not playing that bad, but I think these were winnable. So, what do I take, though? I have to take, like... Because I need the Seer to get a counter on the Amulet. So I have to take, like... And I have to take Vanquish, and I have to play it. So I have to take, like, Amulet, Vanquish, and 1 land, then? Yeah, Seer was in hand, but I'm saying, like, I take, like, land, Amulet, Vanquish, and then this turn, I have to play Vanquish on Stalker that turn. And then this turn I can go, like, Amulet, Seer, land, ping the Wind Robber. Still might end up decked, but yeah, I think that would have been better. That was a game. No, it doesn't. We had that come up yesterday with my Zareth, actually. Oh, Frostio. Nah, that came up yesterday. You couldn't. It targets, like, at the same time the creature dies, so you can't target it. Nah, no more drafts today, because I'll be back tomorrow. If this was the final draft, like, of the week, like if this was Thursday, I might fire a 4th. Hey, what's up, Miss Lethal? But I'll be back tomorrow for 3 more drafts. 7-2? Sounds good. I mean, this deck is not bad. It's high variance. I mean, I have Zareth, Felidar, Retreat, and, like, my mana's not bad. Like, I have enough blue, black, and white sources. Obviously, anytime you're 3 color, it's high mana, it's high variance. But... Alright, let's see. So, we're going to need the lands, so we want to turn 1 Veil. Well, high variance is bad. It doesn't really matter whether you're best of 1 or not. I mean... At the end of the day, you're trying to give yourself the highest chance to win every game with every play you make, and it doesn't really matter whether it's higher or lower variance. Okay, so let's get the amulet going first so we don't miss counters, because this is a wizard. Pretty sure you... Oh, it was a Wind Robber trigger, you're right. Maybe you can get a creature that dies. It was a Wind Robber trigger, you're right. If you can get a creature that dies, I mean, I didn't have a win, but I could have attacked and seen if they blocked in a way where the Blood Priest died. I got that back, and I still had enough blockers. I mean, they'd have to take the 5/6, or I can't Zareth them. But if they didn't block the 5/6, then I could have tried to Zareth back a dying Blood Priest. Yeah, I think it was a Wind Robber trigger yesterday. I think I actually confused that. But that said, the only way I don't die if I attack and go for the Zareth line is if they don't block the 5/6. Because it's my only rogue. So if they block the 5/6 with a 12/12, then I can't Zareth, and then I'm just dead. So that's hardly like a big punt. But I could have attacked with everything and hoped the Blood Priest blocks something, and the 5/6 was let through. I know, they're almost certainly going to block it. But you never know. And so rather than concede, I could have done that, right? I'm not in the, like, never concede, like, camp, like, if you don't have outs. But if your outs are they just happen to take the wrong of your 5 creatures, like, okay, right? Like, so I would have attacked. So I can Geyser Mage unkicked and then Amulet the Shambler. That looks pretty good. I guess bouncing it with Kicker is also pretty much resetting it. Yeah, but it's cost so much mana. I mean, killing it here looks good while they're tapped, right? They don't even get a counter. It's not a spell, it's an ability. They don't even get a creature, I mean, when I said counter. I haven't won a game in so long, I'm starting to forget what it's like. Alright, would I rather a card on the top of my deck or in my hand? Where is it safer? There's not that much targeted discard, right? Like Predation, so it's probably safer in my hand. Because I can, like, scry and then draw, or draw and then scry. And I already know what I need. I'm going to top any spell, and I'm going to bottom any land. So I think I would rather scry first, and then... Oh, you know what? I can just sack the Spare Supplies end of their turn, right? So here I think we're going to attack, play the Seer, and scry... No, but then they can Skydancer me in response. So if it's a good card, I think I would rather just draw it now while they can't, like, Skydancer or something, right? Like, we're definitely topping that. There's Mind Drain, too, actually. So, yeah, I'll just wait. It's a good draw. I can Bubble Snare away their Canopy Ballast now. Obviously not chumping. We're still at plenty of life. Well, the thing is, I could draw in response to the Skydancer, but I'm just going to Spare Supplies end a turn, right? So then they could respond to that. I want to spend the mana, and I want to get the extra card. I know there was a lot of debate over a very minute play, but my 6 mana wants to get spent on Seer and the draw card. So I would have Bubble Snared the Stomper, but I think now it's better to just take the tap Baloth. I mean, they are roughly the same size anyway. So let's go, like, Felidar and make a 2/2, I guess. And Bubble Snare the Baloth. It would be different if I wasn't sure if they had lands, but given they just picked up 2 lands... Yeah, I'm not going to block if they attack. I mean, I don't know what else they're going to play, but my creatures will grow if I draw a land, so... I was planning to just take it, not double block. If I double block and they have removal or pump, it's so devastating. I don't have any other rogues, so it's not a great blocker. But they're not even threatening lethal. If I have to chump that, I think that's fine. I think I just attack with all 3. If they block the crab on the 2/2, I can finish it off with the amulet. Probably just let myself go to 2. The odds they have Might of Marasa or Zoth Consumption aren't that high. And then I'm trying to race and kill... If I draw a land, all my creatures have Vigilance. I'll have better blocks then. I mean, we'll see, because I don't even know if they're going to attack if they don't have anything. Good beats. Better to find that out now than on a double block, I think. I think we pretty much have to let ourselves go to 2. Because if we draw a land, all our creatures will be up, and they'll all get bigger. And they'll have Vigilance, so they can all attack. I mean, we're only losing to, like, Might of Marasa and Zoth Consumption. I mean, those aren't that heavily played of cards, right? And if I draw a Rogue, the Stinger... I mean, I don't think I'm chumping here. Blue is their splash, I think, so it's not that likely they have flyers. The way tonight is going, lands off consumption is the perfect end of the night. Like, I'm not... This game is far from over. Like, even if they don't have 2 points of burn, if they have removal, if they have creatures, like, this is a good game. But, yeah, lands off would be exactly the way that tonight has been going. Just the perfect ending. Was that getting back? Subtle Strike or anything better? Rabid Bite. Okay. Well, land is a decent draw. I can give Vigilance... And then, do I attack with everything? I mean, some of them, they're gonna have a good double block, and then they have a Rabid Bite, so I don't actually know. I mean, the 4/4 is a great free attacker. But anything else, like, they can double block, like, a 4/3, and then it trades with, like, a 1/4. So I think I attack with just the 4/4. Because, I mean, I guess, maybe not. We have to actually figure this out. So... Let's say that I play the land, pump everything, attack with everything. They double block the 4/3. That's their best block. They take 4, 7, 9. They're at 2. I kill, like, let's say the Royal Mage, so that they only have 1 lethal attacker. I lose that. They then Rabid Bite away my Cascade Seer, and I have a 2/5 and a 3/3, which can double block Stomper, and that's fine. So I think I can attack with everything. Right? If they Rabid Bite away the Seer... and they double block away the Geyser Mage, I can take 1 from the Rune Crab, and I can still Stinger and 3/3 on the Stomper. So I think I can attack with everything. If I literally had 1 less point of life, I would have to send only the Cascade Seer, or like the Stinger and the Stinger as a free attacker, just as a bluff. But now I think if they make the double block line, I think I'm fine. I'm not saying I win by any means. I mean, I lose if they have an additional removal to the Rabid Bite or something. But I have 8 toughness and 6 power. I mean, they should double block the 4/3 since it's just a little better than a 3/3. But either way, either way, I'm going to leave them crab because I have to. But I guess they haven't figured that out. But unless they have 2 removal or a pump or something. But they think this line works against the the Rabid Bite only. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's right for them to choose... I was going to leave them the crab anyway, because I would be dead on board if I left them a 2-power creature. Right? Like, because they can Rabid Bite away my 4/4. So if this Rune Crab is a Royal Mage, I'm just dead to the Rabid Bite. So I was going to have to leave them the crab anyway. So they didn't have to make a block that left them crab instead of Royal Mage. In fact, they would have been giving me the ability to throw the game away if I chose to give them, if I chose to kill crab instead of Royal Mage. That said, I'm still losing now if they have Canopy Ballast, like, potentially. Well, not necessarily, actually, because they can't... If they attack with the Stomper, I double block, that's a favorable trade. I'm going to have one creature to there, too, so I have to draw something, but, I mean, a land makes a 2/2, and a spell is a spell, so... This is just extremely good. I'm probably going to lose because of the way the day has been going, but this is, like, the greatest game. Like, this is really close to 50-50, I think. Because I have a profitable block on the Stomper. For them to even get in the damage, they have to tap both of those. And then if I draw a land, I'm making a 2/2, so, I mean, I'm not dead. Like, so if I draw a spell, it's a spell. So this is just an incredible game. This is, like, the most 50-50 game, like, on 2 life and 1, and this is just awesome. That's got to be a good draw. Okay, so... If I into the Royal the Stomper, and then I attack with both, even if I don't get the land, I get a counter on the Relic Amulet. So I can then attack with both. No, yes, and whichever one the 4/3 blocks, the 4/3 dies. So it can't really work out that bad for me. Is there any way I can do better with the Into the Royal? Into the Royal in the Bubble Snare? No. I wouldn't even necessarily want to move it. Yeah, so this looks like a pretty clear Into the Royal on Stomper and see what I get. Okay, can't cast that. I can... Oh, wait. Well, it's not perfect. Oh, yeah, it is, because I'm killing the Baloth regardless, so it works. I can attack with both. They have to block both. Whichever one the Canopy Baloth blocks dies. I'm assuming they don't have a way to pump the Rune Crab for the final point. Yeah, so this... I mean, this is a good trade, because their Baloth would grow to a 6/5. I mean, obviously this doesn't work out, like, incredible for me or anything at the moment, but... Just a slightly favorable trade. $15 cards left in my deck. I have to make sure I don't deck, too. Could have killed it with Death Touch. I don't have another Rogue. Geyser Mage was a wizard, and I don't have another blue to cast the Thought Thief. Okay. Alright, so now what happens? If I attack with the Stinger... So I think... I need to, like... This is so interesting. I still have so many options. So, like... They have to block. They'll block with the Crab. I can't tap the Thought Thief, right? I'll eat the Crab. I guess I can. But I won't have a good block then on the Stomper. What if I play the Thought Thief and then play the Stampede and pump them both and give them both Vigilance? Then I can attack with the Stinger. If they block with the Crab and I tap the Thought Thief, I'll have a 3/6 to block the Stomper out and then the Thought Thief to kill them with. No, you know what? I won't tap the Thought Thief. I'll just Relic Amulet it. So that works better. So what I want to do is play this first, I think. Wait, would I rather have a 2/2? No, I need the Stinger on tapped. If they don't block it. Like, if they trade it for the Stomper, I'm happy with that. But if they choose to block it with the Crab, then I need the Stinger on tap, so I have to give it Vigilance. Yeah, so this is the line. I don't even have to Amulet. Now I can either trade it for the Stomper by tapping the Soaring Thought Thief, or by pinging the Stomper with the Amulet, or I can eat the Crab for free. So they win if they draw a removal spell, but, I mean, I win if they don't have anything. Please don't have an answer for Stinger. If they have Rabid Bite or Deadly Alliance, they win. They can't cast Feed the Swarm. Vanquish doesn't work. I lose to plenty of cards, though. I lose to removal. Like, only good removal. Like, Vanquish doesn't work, Feed the Swarm doesn't work. But if they have, like, Calmy Ambush doesn't work. I mean, it's not horrible for them. They're not dead either now, but that doesn't kill me. Because they couldn't fight the Stinger, because then I would Relic Amulet or tap to give Death Touch or whatever. Oh my, the game continues. Whether they attack or not, though, it's okay. Because if they don't attack, I attack, they block, and then I Amulet to kill it. So I have to block if they attack, so they can force the trade now and deny me a draw step. But if they don't attack, and I don't draw a land, I still attack, they block, and I Amulet it. But if I draw a land, I can then pump this, right? And then they have to block it, and then I eat the Stomper, and the Stinger lives. So they can get a free Amulet counter if I don't draw a land, but if I do draw a land, then I can keep the Stinger around. So now I attack with Stinger, they have to block, then I Shell Shield so that my Stinger will live, and then the Amulet gets a second counter, and then I can finish the Stomper. Well, I mean, any land or any card was going to be useful here. Like, I didn't need to top deck, like, anything super specific. This does work, but so does almost anything. Assuming they don't have anything. If they have, like, Subtle Strike now or something, they win. But that would have beat me anyway. They can't have that. Plot is always thickening. Alright. Well, if I make it a 4/7, they have to chump it. So that seems way better than making a 2/2. Come on, Zoth consumption me. You know you want to. Zoth me. What a game. So that's just a chump blocker now. I'm still on 9 cards in my deck, so I have a decent amount of time to win. That's got to be a good draw. I can just get back Vanquish and kill them if I have enough mana, or Into the Royal. Whew! What a game. That's a good way to end the day after how brutal the day has been. I mean, I'm going to play the next game, of course. But getting to win this game after the way this day has gone feels good, man. Feels good. Why are people playing Cube when Zendikar exists? Are they stupid? Cube, you literally just do high-powered stuff and the games aren't good. Zendikar, you play this game of Magic. And think about all the games I've played today. You play, like, epic games in Zendikar, like, 1 out of every, like, 3 or 4 games. Like, this format is amazing. Like, why would you Cube when this exists? Do people just hate fun? I just don't get it. Why would you Cube when Zendikar exists? I'm not anti-Cube. This format is just great. It's so fun. And, like, yes, that was the best game, and I won it. But think about all the other games I lost. Like, against the number 8 Mythic, where there was that top deck battle, and they had the Clerics, and I had the Rogues, and it was such an epic game. And then, you know, a lot of the games have been like that. The game against that I got mauled against the Double Roost, you know, the blue-green broken rare into Roost, that's what Cube is like. You both just fire high-powered things back and forth, and whoever has, like, the biggest high-powered thing, the fastest, generally wins. That game that we just played, and the Blue-Black vs. Cleric game, and a lot of those games, that's a great limited format, like Zendikar, or M21, or Dominaria. I'm kidding. Don't get offended by me saying, are you stupid to play Cube over this game? I'm kidding. Obviously, I don't think people are stupid for playing Cube. Just misguided. M20, I meant, not M21. I'm sorry. Don't worry. It would only be like the 45th time I've been canceled. No big deal. Do we play the Black Bloom Rogue as a land, or do we hold it as a spell? Our cards are cheap, and Spare Supplies draws cards. So I think... Yeah, I know, Skits. It was a joke. Yeah, I think it's hold. I'm kidding. But I do think this limited format is wonderful, and the games are absolutely amazing. You get a very high frequency of amazing games. Alright, I don't want to fall further behind, so I'm going to sit back on Anti-Cognition. I don't want to Bubble Snare Sneaking Guide, but I also don't want to play Spare Supplies when they're on 1-drop, 2-drop on the play. I mean, they're not going to resolve a creature here with Anti-Cognition up. Okay. I mean, I can't Anti-Cognition that. I don't particularly need to, but... Hey, I support it. I love counter spells, so... I love canceling things. Any powerful spell my opponent plays, I tap blue, blue, and 1, and I cancel. Alright, so we're going to eat that with Thought Thief. So I think here we pretty clearly want to get Veil in play. Oh, well, they're going to get to Sneaking Guide it, but that's still like a Time Walk. It's still a pretty good turn for us. So they can give it unblockable, so we're not going to get to eat it, but it still Time Walks them, so that's pretty good. And then we can Bubble Snare and drop a 3-drop, and it's a good turn. So they presumably have Subtle Strike or something, because they could have chosen to give it unblockable. I don't know what's going on anymore. But I guess now we'll just Bubble Snare that good beater and attack. I can't double spell now. They don't have a tap creature to Bubble Snare for 1. So, I mean, I might as well... I get more value by Bubble Snaring a GOP that's going to hit for 5 than I do by playing a 3-drop, I think, so that I could then play a 3-drop and Bubble Snare next turn. Now, if I could have Bubble Snared for 1, I probably would have. There's literally a card cancel. That was the joke, right? Listen, I'm totally just kidding. I actually think Cube is really cool, but it is usually really high-powered, and the games usually aren't that good. And I do love, like, low-powered, grindy games, as you know if you watch my stream. Okay. So what are we doing now? They can make something unblockable 2 different ways now. I'm not sure what to do now. I mean, we're obviously in a good position. I want to be attacking and milling them. And then what? I can just play, like, the Pack Beast. And, like, leave up Anti-Cog, maybe? Because I can't double spell this turn. So it seems pretty good. And I have plenty to do, so now I'm going to go and put that in play. Yeah, Miserly knows what's up. Soul Shift is such a sweet, grindy mechanic. Champions of Kamigawa is my favorite format, if you've never heard me say that. Are they ever going to play a creature when I have Anti-Cog up? It's alright. I think we can win this race. And it's close, but the Soaring Thought Thief has to be almost on, right? So let's see. They have 5, so it's not on this turn, but I can add 2 more drops to the board. And then they can make 1 unable to block, so I can't block again. So maybe I only attack with the Pack Beast. I want to attack with 1 for sure, because I want to get the mill 2. This way next turn it'll be on. But I also don't want to take extra damage, because the longer this game goes, the better for me. And they can make something unable to... They can use the Sneaking Guy to make me unable to block the Vanguard. And then they can use the Vanguard to make a 1-power creature unable to block, which is just Stinger, or Thought Thief. So, like... Wow, if only they had 1 more card in their yard. What do I attack with here? I can't attack with both, right? Actually, I can, because then this... No, I can't, because then I can't block the Sneaking Guy with the Mace on it. Yeah, so attack with both doesn't make sense. So I think I attack with just Pack Beast. It misses less damage, and it doesn't really matter to me whether they make the Stinger or the Stalker unable to block. I just want to have 2 blockers up, so that I can potentially block the Sneaking Guy if they send it. So I think that the right attack is just Pack Beast, but I have a low degree of confidence in this. It's extremely complicated. That's fine. This is another good game. I'm telling you, this format is awesome, y'all. I'm honestly mostly kidding. I'm not trying to, like, hate on Cube. Like, Cube is fun. Some of the formats are better than others. It varies. But, like, this format is seriously very good. Like, the in-game play is just amazing. And the draft format, like, the colors are balanced. There's a million good archetypes. Like, I love this format. Seriously, it's the best format since Dominaria. Alright, so I want to trade with that. Seems easy. I'm not losing both. I don't want to take 3. I don't want to lose the Thought Thief, so this just seems like pretty scripted block, just double block. Even though it looks like a trade up for them, I mean, the guide scares me. I've got draw 2 and a counter in my hand. I don't want to accidentally die. I want to make sure I prolong this game. So now, Chronicler supplies. Chronicler looks better. I think I might just attack with everything now. Because then they'll die next turn, right, if they hit me. So if they take 7, they're at 9. And then I have 2, 4, 7, 9. So they die next turn. So yeah, we just attack with everything now. Flip the script on them. And then we can play Chronicler and still have Anti-Cognition up for a creature. Life is good. Well, I just drew 5. I guess that's better than drawing 1, right? You don't see that every day. Yeah, Deathsea tried to flood me, but luckily all the lands came when I chroniclered. So Deathsea did not succeed in flooding me. And that's the game. Put those rally caps on. We're not done yet. Fake Steve knows this is a real rally. Yes, you can, Fake Steve. That's how it works. Oh, there were some epic games, Kaboom. If you watch the VODs, you're gonna want to watch Game 3 of this draft run. That might have been the best game of Magic I've played since, like, I don't even know. I know I say that every once in a while, but like, when was the last time on stream I played a game better than game 3 this run? Not the game we just played, but the one before that. Alright, so we're missing blue, but we have a lot of blue sources. It's our main color. We'll play the Stampede, so we have our splash. Hopefully we'll draw an island, and this will be a pretty good hand. I'll do what I can, Capos Michael, to keep you up until work, then. I consider it my job to not let people watching my stream get enough sleep. Yeah, that one with Charx with no cards in the library was pretty incredible. I remember that one. Alright, so we don't need the Black Bloom in play as a swamp. That doesn't help us. We're probably going to lose if we don't draw an island. I think I have like 9 or 10 of them. But for now, we don't need it yet. I mean, we have a 3-drop to play. We pretty much need it after that. That's kind of the opposite of an island. It's an expensive, slow blue spell. But no real decisions. And I mean, you're not happy about trading Black Bloom for Squid, but if I draw an island, I can claw back into this. I've got Bubble Snare and Relic Amulet. And so, I mean, this is just definitely block. Try and keep our life total up. Hopefully we draw an island. Yeah, that one was probably the literal best. The Charx 43-2, one with no cards left in my deck. Hey, swamp number 4. All right, just what the doctor ordered. That Charx game was incredible. Y'all are right. I don't know if it's a good game. It depends if they have kicker, right? What if the 2 cards in their hand are land? I can enter the roll of the token, and I can Bubble Snare the 3/3. I definitely don't have any more time. I need to draw an island now. I mean, that stops the 3/3, so I basically need them to have nothing. I mean, look, they can add a random creature to the board, but if they have, like, Cunning Geyser Mage or Into the Royal or Bubble Snare, this game's over. So, after the epic game, we got a decent win, and then a Mana Screw loss. I'll take it. Now it's 1 turn too late. There's no way I can stabilize here. Well, I promised that I would tank my Mythic rating today. We went in 34th. We finished 345th. I delivered. I'm a man of my word. As y'all know, I'm very open to criticism and stuff. I have my strengths and weaknesses. I'm far from a perfect person. But I think I'm very honest and very straightforward and upfront. I think that's something anyone who knows me would credit me with. I promised I would tank my Mythic rating. I did as I promised you. I'm a man of my word. It was not on purpose. I will try and do some winning off stream, and I will also be doing 3 more of these best of 1 drafts tomorrow, so hopefully we can climb back up. Best of 1, you know, high variance. It's tough. Some days you go 7-1-6-3-3-3. Some days you go 0-3-2-3-3-3. I think the decks were definitely way better than that. Primarily the second deck. I think that deck was just good. I think it was like probably my best of the 3 decks, and I just 0-3'd in like really harsh fashion. But I do plan to be right back tomorrow with 3 more of these drafts. So if you enjoy this, these grindy, awesome games, I'm happy to be delivering because I love Zendikar Limited. Whereas, unfortunately, you know, cube, like I said, it's not, every cube is different, first of all. I love a low-powered cube. I love Pauper, etc., etc. But, you know, high-powered cube doesn't always have the best games, in my opinion. But I know every other streamer's cubing right now, so there's plenty of that, if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for Zendikar, I will be back on doing 3 more of these Zendikar drafts tomorrow, so tune right back in, same place, same time, 3 p.m., and I will be here drafting. For now, of course, I'm going to finish with a raid like we always do. Is anybody else on drafting Zendikar, or do we have to raid one of those cubers that I've been dissing all night? 3 p.m. Eastern. Hey, thank all of you. I try not to tilt off too bad today as I was getting pummeled all day. Hopefully, it was still a fun stream. I mean, to me, it really isn't about winning or losing. Like, I really did love like that game I played against the White Black Clerics deck. That was just an epic, awesome game where I didn't know if I was going to win or lose down to the end, and it was super fun. Like, I love games like that. I'd rather win than lose, but I did think it was a fun game nonetheless. But like I said, anybody on doing Zendikar? Do we have to raid one of the cubers?
This is for everyone who had a toasted cheddar chalupa and thought, wow, this is so good. I sure hope Taco Bell never takes it away.
Is Yellow Hat playing limited? I've never seen Yellow Hat playing limited. He's all constructed all the time. I mean, oh, Numot. I would raid Numot even if he was cubing, but I think he's doing Pokemon or something, which, again, I'm not hating. I play Pokemon Go a lot, but I don't know what he's doing. It says, WoW, Cube, Pokemon, NUG Party. I don't even know what any of that is. Let's see. Yeah, nobody I follow is doing anything but Cube. Everybody's doing Cube. I guess I'm the only one who loves Zendikar. They probably just wanted to play Cube because it just came out. I don't know. Who should I raid? What do I do? Alright, well, it looks like we're going to have to raid a Cuber. So, I guess Gabby Sparts it is. I haven't raided her in a while. So, unfortunately, we have to raid one of the Filthy Cubers and not one of the awesome Zendikar drafters because the awesome Zendikar drafter list is one. So, we will be raiding a Cuber, Gabby Sparts. And y'all are probably already familiar with her stream. Oh, Nerd Girl's doing Zendikar? What's a Garbage Andy? I don't even know what a Garbage Andy is. Alright, we'll raid Nerd Girl then if she's doing Zendikar. After all that talk, I've got to support the Zendikar. I follow her, I just didn't see her on, I guess. I'm a little shaken after the beatings I took today. Y'all can forgive me, right? Well, I was looking, your boy. I was looking at like other people's streams to see what they were doing. I would never ignore you. Alright, so I will be back tomorrow with 3 more Zendikar drafts. For now, we found somebody else who understands a great format, and we are going to raid them. Have a good night, y'all. See you tomorrow. Thanks for taking these beatings with me tonight.